one moment everything I loved was gone, except my bond. So I tried the only thing I knew to try. I hit that bong real hard and man, I got so high and got online. Now maybe it was the whiskey, and maybe it was the beer, and maybe it was the weed, but somehow I wound up here, laughing my ass off at some liberty means. I signed up for the Patreon group, and as strange as it seems, somehow I knew that me and you would make a real good team. Well, a few months have come and gone since then. I'm feeling better than I'd ever been. I'm back again. Just don't feel like getting high anymore. I got this big old bong that I got no use for on my floor. Now maybe I'll live forever, and maybe I'll die tonight, and maybe I'll move to Cleveland, but somehow it'll be alright. We'll be laughing our ass off at some liberty memes, saving cats and horses and fulfilling kids' dreams. LNPM, yeah, I'm with them. We make a real good team. We make a real good team.
Hey guys, I'm not even like here yet, and I'm here already. Hey. Saying hi.
Hey!
Hey! Happy Friday!
Wow, we
That's
are way
right.
too loud. Hold on.
Are we? Okay. Welcome to Liberty Late Night. I am Mary.
Sorry for yelling at you guys. I'm Dave.
And this is Dave. Yes,
No,
it is. March 6th. Check. March 6th already, you guys. What's going on? I see Anna, Ryan, David, John J, Ben, James Higgins. What's up, everybody?
Oh, let's bring
Sean, hello. Yay, there we go. I don't have my earbuds in,
okay,
so I
heard a noise in it. Hey, I am Ninja Cat.
Yeah, Ninja Cat's here. What's up? Liberty After Dark.
He's our little project.
Our project. Brandon! Oh, yeah.
Wait, who's here? Drew Simmons, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, make sure you
Hi,
like
Jason.
it. Like the stream. Like it on
Tim, what's going
whatever
on? Yeah,
platform
what's good?
you're watching on.
It's Friday night, man. We're here hanging out.
Hit that like button.
It's a good
Hit
time.
that
We're
subscribe.
excited. Celeste is here.
Ding that bell.
Yes.
If you're on
Do all the dingy
Facebook,
dong things that you
up here there's 3 dots. You can click those and drop down, and it'll say turn on live
Johnny
notifications.
Smith.
That way you'll be notified every time
How
we
are
go
you
live.
doing? How's Florida? Probably
Malarkey
warm.
watch.
We're still chilly up here. I'm waiting till I can be down in the studio here without layers of clothing.
I like the layers. I enjoy it.
Like,
hey Trey,
I
look what I
wear
made.
tank tops. Megan, hi Megan.
You're getting nervous,
Oh my
man.
gosh. Well, enjoy your dinner. Thanks for popping in. Very excited.
Nervous, man.
Very excited.
Epic
Seth
gaming.
is here. Seth Boudreau, right? Because I always say it
Thank you,
wrong. Oh, it's snowing. It's been kind of on and off doing a light snow around here, yeah. But I'm just so happy that whatever fell last week like melted right away.
It's
last weekend.
accumulating right now.
Is it? Damn it! I haven't looked outside in a year in an hour.
Thank Michael. Michael liked the stream.
Thank you, Michael. I haven't looked outside in a year. Did you know that?
A year. There we go. Look, you just asked people to do it.
It's that shot of whiskey right before the show.
Yeah.
And I'm
It's a
trying
warm-up.
like looking everywhere. Yeah. So thanks,
yeah, here's
Celeste.
all the chat.
Oh, okay. Good.
Thanks, Ben. Oh, a share.
Thank
Got
you.
a sharer.
In the 50s, I'd take 50s. That's flip-flop weather. I'm telling you what. Miss you too, Megan. I do. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What? You know what? Life's busy, man. I know, but we're always here. So when you get a chance, come hang out with us. Thank you, Celeste. I was just saying to Dave, like, I didn't straighten my hair this week at all, and I was looking at it, and I'm like, I used a curling iron just a little bit, and I was like, it's not that bad. So I'm excited. Thank you for saying that. Hi, Ryan
Thank you.
Seifert, Scott Peterson. How are you? Tyke Sean Hatchie's washer and dryer.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Sean
my
Hatchie
gosh.
did get a new washer and dryer.
You don't
I
say
gotta
it wrong,
figure out-
just fancy. I know, I say it fancy. You told me that the one time. Like, you say it all fancy. I'm like, Seth Boudreau. And you're like, no, it's Boudreau. You're all fancy, schmancy. It's all good, if you don't
Up
mind.
there.
Where's my underwear? Hatch, what's going
I
on?
don't know what that does. Oh, Hatch's here. Congratulations
He is.
on your brother or cousin's new washer and
Washer and
dryer.
dryer, yes.
Where's my breaking
Been
news
drinking and
stuff?
smoking. All is good, right? I'm feeling really good today. Feeling really good right now, too. And I don't think
there
it's
it is.
because of that shot of whiskey or the 3 White Claws I drank before this. Breaking news.
I was looking for that for Sean Hatchie's new washer and
Oh,
dryer.
okay. Oh,
I can-
yes.
I'm making an investment on a bigger stream deck.
Guys, I made a keto pizza dough tonight. Because, yeah, we're doing the keto thing. And I actually feel like, I always thought, I'm going to be really honest with you, I always thought it was really, 72, David? What? Oh, that sounds amazing. Amazing. 72 degrees. That's like perfect temperature.
Thank you, John Jay.
Thanks for the light, John. Martini's here. Hi, Martini. Breaking news, your mama. Yeah, we got Malarkey Watch going on. Oh, the Malarkey. But I'm real quickly, you go ahead and do that, but I want to share real quick about my
this
little
one.
excitement with my keto pizza.
Very dramatic.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Now it's getting bad, though. Like, now you can tell he's not just, like, slipping up and saying things that he really thinks. He's saying things that he doesn't even know. So...
Yeah. I was on YouTube, and one of the suggested videos was a bad lip reading of Joe Biden.
Oh,
And I'm like, how is that going to
can
be
you
any
maybe-
different?
How can that be? Okay, so yeah, I made a keto pizza tonight. Hi, Chris Chappelle. Hello. So I'm really excited because I was very nervous about making the fathead pizza crust, the fathead dough. You know, they call it. It's 4 ingredients. I was super nervous about it. So freaking easy. Oh my gosh. And now,
Yeah, it was good too.
oh, I'm so happy. It did not.
It didn't just taste like baked cheese.
No, it didn't taste like baked
tasted
cheese.
bready.
It didn't taste like egg. It just tasted like bread, like pizza crust. Oh, it was so good. And thank God for the person who figured that out, those combination
some
of 4
keto
ingredients.
scientists out
Yes, because I tell you what, it's been a couple weeks. And I mean, I cut bread out a long time before that. But I've been cutting out the sugars, and I've switched from beer to the claw, you know.
Yeah.
So there's been certain things that I miss, and pizza is one of them. You know, pizza's really one of them. But this, I'm telling you guys, it was it. So I'm really happy. I'm really
The
happy.
Joe Biden bad lip reading is just
Oh,
him
he
making
actually
sense.
makes sense. Oh, it's Michael Lusick. Hi.
Yeah,
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
getting winks and stuff. He said
Winks? Where are you getting winks? Wink,
Because I gave
wink.
him a wink.
Oh, you winked at him.
Yeah.
Can I wink at him too? There. I did it. I did the thing.
So here's
Yes.
what I found today at the discount beer place.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. It's called Pura Still Mango. It's not carbonated. I think it's made from coconut water.
Mm-hmm.
It's really not that good. But they're relatively easy to drink. You can pound them because they're not carbonated.
Yeah, but that's what I miss is the carbonation. I like
And it just looks like
I like
water.
to burp, Yeah. Oh, look at groceries do you see that?
I gotta put like spaces around it or something.
So tonight on the show, we're having our good friend
Wow.
and good friend of the show, Alan Mosley. He has been doing his own stream show podcast
For a long time.
for a long time. He's coming up on his 100th episode, and he's been doing it once a week. And it used to be called The Gold Standard with Alan Mosley, but he recently changed it and his format, rebranded himself completely. And I tell you what, it's fire. It is fire. So on Wednesday nights, you guys got to check out
We don't like to talk about it.
It's Too Late with Alan Mosley. And also FunnyBroke. You can go right to the FunnyBroke.
It's like his network with him and some friends, with fellow libertarian streamers, podcasters, artists.
Yeah. Why is... Because... Do you want to say...
talk about it.
Oh, we don't like to talk... You trolled Alan a few times. He's great. He's so great. Yep. Oh, wow. That's awesome. Wow. 3,000 milligrams. Yikes.
It sounds like a lot because I don't know what that stuff means.
I don't know
I'm
what
out of the loop with that stuff.
I do the drops.
Yeah. Trey, you got a tiny plant yet?
You need a tiny plant.
Oh, who's the top fans? We got John Jay is the only top fan I'm seeing in there right now.
Speaking of, I tagged Aaron, but I'm hoping he'll show. I don't know. He might have something going on tonight, but Facebook likes to hide our stream from him specifically, and then not give him a top fan badge when he does all this commenting.
It's a conspiracy.
It is. It seriously is. I feel so bad. Yeah. That's a lot of CBD. Yeah. We lean back.
Trying to get away from the mic. I'm recording this one. I'm recording the audio of this one. I might actually do the whole podcast thing.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll give it a whirl.
I posted on my normal profile, like who podcasts, what they use, and stuff like that. And then this guy at work is like, "You think it started a podcast?" And I'm like, "No, no." I just wonder what other people are doing.
Just checking it out.
I like my worlds to collide.
Hi, Brian Kane. How are you doing?
Thanks, Jeff. I don't know why I didn't say stream.
Wow, 3,000.
CBD has a little bit of an effect, like especially if you don't do THC at all, then you feel it when you first.
For me, it does.
Yeah.
I don't know. And when I started using CBD, they're like, "Oh, it'll be a little while until you feel anything." And I was like, first day, I'm like, "Man, I feel chill." And I only had like 4 or 5 drops like under my tongue. So I think everyone's different. I also feel that way when I take other medicines too, though. If I take, like, say they were like, "Oh, you can take this Vicodin when, or whatever, you get your tooth pulled or something," and I was like, "Oh, I don't know," because that makes me feel real weird, like super weird. So I'm sensitive to that kind of stuff, I think.
Well, I don't know why Alan's blocking you, John, but be nice.
Oh my gosh, John, please be nice to Alan. We love Alan. Oh my goodness, we love you too. I don't know why you're trolling him.
Do that, Carl.
But that's between you two and not me at all. Hi, Tim.
Hey, Jonathan.
What's up? Hey, Michael Hackman's here. How you doing?
Oh, awesome.
Okay, I'm reading the replying to Carl, but that's just because of how it is. Okay, so let's talk about this. Pete dropped out. When did he drop out? Pete Buttigieg.
Right before Super Tuesday.
So we all had to. I saw that. We all had to learn how to say that name for no reason.
Jerks.
And then Super Tuesday happened, and who would have thought? I mean, I don't know. Maybe everyone else thought.
Yeah, it was all part of the plan.
I guess, but sheesh, it was just so far out there. So Elizabeth Warren went back to the reservation. She's done. She's out.
She did her job on Super Tuesday. She siphoned votes off of Bernie.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, good. You love him too. Oh, Aaron's going to care. Oh, I love how Sean. Hey, it's Alan Mosley. It's our guest for tonight. Sean Hatchie and Aaron Kenner keep tabs on each other. So, Aaron will always be in here being like, Sean Hatchie's still at work. And then Sean Hatchie just said that Aaron's going to karaoke. So, oh, Seth, did you okay.
Oh, yeah, on that live stream they did.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's awesome.
By What state was it?
Iowa.
Iowa.
Yeah. Now tell me what was going on with that. I didn't get a chance to go in.
I think it was basically like a recruiting live stream that they try to do, and they were silly enough to make a event about it. And I wonder if they got nervous when people started like being interested in the event. Like, they're
right.
Like, why are 20 people interested in this event? Usually we only get like 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I watched it afterwards. I missed it because I was at work. But it seemed like a lot of comments were missing, which I guess is illegal because it's a public.
Yeah, they're not supposed to or allowed to.
A public thing.
Yeah,
that's a button I meant to get. You know the thing.
Oh my gosh, I told you. I said, Martini, where are you? I told Dave today. I'm like, get the, you know the thing. You know the thing. This is spitting. What was that? With George W. Bush. Yeah. Yes, he is. Yep. Hanging out.
Hanging out.
Yes. Hi, Spencer. How you doing? We heard anything about a Bernie and Tulsi ticket? Whoa. Do you think Tulsi could possibly be...
I just laugh at the
Do you think that they would pull like a John McCain and bring out the lady vice president and she'll... I can see Russia from my house, except that wasn't really her, right? What was her name? What was that lady's name? Sarah Palin.
Sarah Palin.
Yeah. Yep.
Thanks, John.
Oh, thanks, John. I super appreciate that. Yeah.
So, what else? The other thing that actually was big this morning was Justin Amash apparently is thinking about running on the Libertarian ticket. How does everybody feel about that? That might make me go over to the church and actually sign my name down. Because
his record, and I remember you talking about him years ago, you know, and he would always share everything.
It's almost perfect.
It's almost like Ron Paul-ish, you know what I mean? Like in that way that he tells you what he votes and why.
Oh, he explains every
exactly
every vote he makes.
Yep, which is really nice. Yeah. Wait, the Russian.
Oh wait.
Wait.
I have a new one.
Oh yay!
Hello, Juan.
Yay! Oh, there we go.
It's so hard to find stuff like that. Like
Dave
that
was
was
searching
in the middle
today,
of a Fox News clip, like a half hour long. I found the transcripts. For some reason, you can't just type in like what you want and then a video will come up.
Yeah.
It's like it's hard to find stuff.
It is hard to find
I'm trying to find a Trey thing, and I think I have to watch like the whole.
I know it would be awesome if he did win.
Boys in the Hood
Donnie.
movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh, is he here?
Yeah, Donnie. He said,
No,
"Fuck
not.
you, vote and the Fed, vote Kokesh." And you know what? It would be amazing to see. You know,
he's just saying
like,
Mark Whitney. We had Mark Whitney on the show. That was an awesome show.
Yes.
So many technical difficulties, and it was amazing.
It was amazing. We still need an entrance video. That's what Dave was trying to find today. So hard. He was. Yep.
Because I feel like it's in that movie. I just don't know where. And I think I have it on VHS, which is going to be hard to transfer to digital.
It's going to be real interesting. Recording it on your phone. No, I'm just joking.
So actually, with presidential candidates, we have to stay pretty unbiased because we've had a few on the show. I found out we had another one.
Oh yeah, I can see his face. I can't think of his name right now though, but yeah.
But obviously, we had Vermin Spring.
Awesome, dude. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, thank you, Carl. That's so great. Do you see that?
Thanks,
that just,
Carl.
Like makes my freaking day. Thank you. Oh my gosh.
It's hard to get any reach like on these platforms. Everything's so algorithm locked down.
Mm-hmm. Everything.
It's like people might like it. People might enjoy this, but we just can't get it in front of them.
Yeah. Yep.
I guess I could start spending money. I think this year we might invest in maybe
how
kind of advertising.
Oh, okay, advertising.
Paying
So
for
I was like,
reach.
you can't just like, you can't. Can you though? Doesn't Facebook
Hey,
once you pay for
what's up,
reach on
David
Facebook,
Andrew?
don't they just after a little while be like, and make it worse? Hi, Dadman. How you doing? One person would have voting record. It's thick, yeah.
How many
Edibles.
C's? That's what my kid always says. I say something's thick, and he's like, "How many C's?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "You don't understand. You're 10." I sent him an invite. I sent Adam Kokesh an invite. I mean, his people. It's like because right now it's hot, you know.
And everybody's
season
busy,
is,
like,
and
and-
everybody's
yeah.
like stacked up with.
But if you want to put in a word, be like,
Request.
hey, tell your people to check out that that invite from Liberty Late Night. That'd be awesome.
Brandon, I have to get up at 5:30 in the morning. Where are you going?
Good night, Brandon. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you so much. It's always good to see you pop in.
I'm interested to see how these drinks affect me.
Yeah. I enjoy
like my stomach,
like,
it's like,
oh yeah,
because they feel so innocent.
They
it's
do.
just water.
It's like
like flavored water.
Yeah.
But there's alcohol in there.
There's something missing for me. Like it's, yes. My son is like, I want to be. Well, I don't know if it's. I don't even know where he even heard about thick. Probably watching just the shows and stuff.
Thanks,
Thank you.
That'd be fun.
So coming today saying Elizabeth Warren was thick, and I about passed out, not trying to vomit. Trey, good job. Good job not passing out or vomiting. Okay, so what is everyone's thoughts on Joe Biden? Is he a dementia patient? I mean, is he early onset dementia? And they're just parading him around.
Who's running the show?
Are we getting... Spencer says, are you getting white girl wasted? Yeah. I love beer. Like really good beer, like IPAs or like a good stout, but I'm ketoing, so I need to have these White Claws. Did someone just say mom?
There's talking going on.
Okay.
Joe Biden is a national meme treasure. But it's like, it worries me. Like, who's pulling the strings on Joe Biden? Like he can talk. He messes stuff up, but he's still a politician. I think we talked about this before.
Seth likes his hairy legs.
and I know about roaches.
Oh! Look at Dadman dropping some knowledge about thick being the actual spelling of it.
You're getting nervous, man.
All right, so I should probably I tell him.
Oh, he does make a good patsy. Yeah. Carl says nobody has a platform other than beat Trump. Exactly.
Everybody in the club getting tipsy.
He is losing his mental faculties, John, for sure. Michael Lusick, I'm getting white girl tipsy. I know, the thing. Dave meant to make a button for that. You know the thing, sister wife, that too. Gosh, it's really, I don't know. Piecing it all together. I wish somebody would just make a... Is there a montage out there? I mean, I know there's more to come.
Of montages.
Are there?
But,
okay.
Yeah, it's got to be updated like daily.
Yeah, it has to be updated on the daily. All right, John, thank you.
Maybe his mouth just runs faster than his brain does. But I think, yes, that's probably true. It's just his brain is getting slower. And his mouth is just as fast.
And he's still just talking and say, yeah. Because what was the thing where he's like, I'm done. I'm done. No one else stops. And then he just stopped talking at one of the debates. I think it was, who's that Crowder guy?
Louder
was watching.
Crowder?
Yeah.
Or louder with Crowder.
Yeah, I don't usually watch or listen to a whole lot because the kids always interrupt it.
We've been branching out like with our friends, that we've met and people we actually interact with.
I love hugs. I'm so excited to see other people hug too. Oh yes, forgetting who the last president was.
That's what we were talking about. Yeah. I think David Gay said something like that. Like maybe the last guy told him not to name drop. Like,
is he not supporting him? Like
just don't do that. Maybe it's like bad taste or something.
Oh, that could be. That could be.
Or the George Bush of the left.
Let's see. Carl says, been in politics 40-some years and still no clue of what is around him and what exactly has he done in that time. Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's it. That's exactly it, Michael. Joe Biden is going to be the George Bush of the left. Sniffing the things. Yeah. Oh, my.
Oh, did David say something? I didn't even see that one. Bloomberg knew that if the DNC took a hard left, he'd lose a fortune. His job was to tank Bernie for Biden, so Trump can stay. You think the Dem insiders don't want Trump? They do. They want to win in 2024, so they keeping their base riled up and protesting. This is a great 8-year period for the Democrats to recapitate for 2024. So he this is like being a Bills fan.
Yes.
Maybe next year. This year we're gonna finish low. We're gonna get some of the first round draft picks.
Okay.
And next year we're gonna come in hard, make it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Get our guy in office.
Except you have to wait like 4 years.
Something like that. I should probably talk to our guest because I tell him between 9:45 and 10.
Oh yeah,
and
sure.
We're on that far
so
end.
Seth said today I learned that both Wimpy and Jeep originated from the Popeye the Sailor comic strip. The vehicle was named for his pet.
Wait, the Jeep? Like I know Wimpy.
I'm guessing. I did not know that. Hug life, yes. Okay. So yes, Obama
Yeah.
did
That's what I said earlier.
say don't name drop. Yeah. You're
I'm
certain of it.
I'm like Trump is hilarious that he's president. Like I
It
think
is.
about it. Like last night it just pops into my head every once in a while. I'm
Hi,
like,
Jeff Lyons.
Trump's president. And then I'm like, but the Democrats can't bring somebody that could actually compete with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like looking at Biden and Sanders.
Yeah.
What is that gonna look like?
Yeah.
And they both have horrible histories. Like if you go back in their history, I was seeing something today about Sanders thing, where he had some like fiction he wrote, like weird rapey stuff.
Who did?
Sanders, and I think Biden might have some like racist stuff.
Of course. John Jay, we can see you. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Are you making the move, Ben White? Are you moving over to the tubes? So
No, I know not maybe next year, but next election cycle.
yeah. Oh, but what we say with Buffalo is like next year, you know. They did pretty great this year though for Buffalo. That was really, yeah.
That
Oh
would
my
be
gosh.
that would be a
Are you
really
kidding?
good
Only I do not know
Tulsi
the
against
history
Trump. That would be a
of
good
that.
debate.
Only took 6 years.
Yeah,
Drew's
shit
comment.
happens fast.
Wow. Wait, Liberty Late Night is commenting. Wait, what? The power of the Jeeper. Sorry. In case we do put this in podcast and I'm just like kind of reading through comments here.
Oh, I meant to say something now. Yeah.
So do we think that Tulsi is going to be something? Like, something?
No, she's not going to be anything unless like they're talking about a brokered convention, but I don't see that happening. They're just
Yeah.
they're inept, but I think they're good at what they're going to do, and they're gonna
And are
Biden's
they
gonna take
are
it.
they going to push Biden through? This is what they
Yeah.
want. So this is
yeah.
they don't want Bernie.
They don't want Bernie.
And Bernie's doing so well because, you know, socialists and stuff. Trump keeps them angry. Republicans always say that Obama
So they used
was
Obama
the
to keep
best
their base
thing
angry.
to happen to them because he woke up the sleeping conservative base.
It's interesting.
David Mattson says, Biden racist and Bernie rapey. Shocked. Wanting to
These are
change
things
the
I'm just
rules
hearing.
again.
I can't support
do.
it in any way.
They change all the rules all the time.
I get my news from memes, and I've seen some memes.
Yeah. Oh, Tulsi doesn't play ball, Spencer says,
Yeah,
so she isn't
yeah.
gonna be
She's
let
she's
inside.
kind of the
Yeah.
Ron Paul of the left, and she just got totally steamrolled and forced out, and
Yeah.
rules changed.
Yeah.
Oh, you meet that threshold. Let's change the threshold.
Yeah. I know. I hate how they do that. They just change everything. Yes. Whoa. Bernie Beto ticket. Yikes.
It seems so not the same.
Why do my comments show up late? I don't know, Donnie. I'm sorry. It's
It might not be. Facebook has a 90-second delay.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube's quicker. Supposedly Mixer is like right now. Twitch is better than YouTube.
it's going to be a golden age for memes, Trey. Seriously. I'm going to just see what this is here. Oh, no, that's just you sending messages. Okay.
Yeah.
And why is my camera open? Oh, because the kids like to record themselves doing like UFC fighting.
Was that the Corona ice cream or what was Corona flavored?
Say
No,
what?
it was Corona flavored ramen noodles.
Corona?
Ramen.
Raymond. Someone tag Court because Dave said Raymond. Wait, let me sit back here for this. So.
That's probably what it is. Facebook needs a second to read what you said.
Wow, yeah. Make sure it's okay for everyone else's eyes and brain. So it takes a little
Such
longer.
a hard platform. Like I always say, it's like we started live streaming on maximum difficulty.
Yeah, we were already hard mode.
It's like, oh, you can go to YouTube and people can just click that little bell and they see you when you come on. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
But even now, I think it's getting even harder for people,
Yeah, YouTube.
because they didn't even have a bell. You used to be able to subscribe to someone,
Yeah,
and they
and
made a
you see it.
bell. Then
just
it
like
was
Facebook, it got so big that it's like, okay, you can't just see everything that you subscribe to.
So, but okay,
You don't know what you want.
So why follow someone if you don't want to see their content? Oh, what meme page picture, Cassandra? What is?
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to put it up. I think I got it. Cassandra's, what is it called? Hold on, let me.
Right.
Now I feel bad. I gotta open it up, and we're gonna do a
David
whole
says.
promotion.
Oh, okay. Oh, what is my mic doing? Something weird for anyone else? But Martini likes it. He says it's cool. You spilled your baked beans. What?
Listen to me, beans.
Oh man.
Hey everybody.
Nancy, I'm sorry. So I'm trying to think, was there anything else that really, happened besides, the whole coronavirus, everybody.
Mary's kind of freaking out a little bit.
Oh, just teeny bit, on and off. Every once in a while
I
I
freaked
get
out for a little bit. And you know what's weird is that
it ebb and flow,
the time that it
Where's
started coming
Toby?
out was the same time that I downloaded that virus game.
Oh,
That Virus Incorporated or whatever
yeah.
it is.
Yep.
And I'm just like having fun, like, oh, look at it spreading. This is awesome.
Ryan.
Oh, I got this last country. And then the coronavirus comes out, and I'm like, this is a little. I can't. So I haven't played the game since, but I feel like I should
Yeah.
go back to it. Well, that's weird.
Oh, no. No, I'm not reading that. Bernie Sanders. Probably Bernie Sanders, 1972.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Yeah,
But that was it's Plague
yeah.
Incorporated. Yeah, that's one. So it's like I haven't really been able to play that since it started
Oh, that's
getting kind
great,
of big.
Trey. Converting the ex's boyfriend into the most fabulous ANCAP. There you go. There you go. You were freaking out earlier around 11 p.m. Oh, nice. Nice. So, did anyone else read about the guy who was supposed to be put to death last night?
Oh.
Was it in Alabama?
Yeah,
Was
the
it?
innocent
Yeah.
man that they killed.
Yeah.
I hope
well,
maybe-
no. They stopped it. I mean, it's paused.
No, I
He's
thought
still-
they killed him.
No. I mean, what I read last night.
No, this morning they killed him.
Fuck. What?
Yeah.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, fucking shit. Are you kidding me? I was like so excited last night that there was like they put a pause on it.
Probably like 10 minutes.
What? That's bullshit. That is.
Yeah, they killed him. So I'm hoping that maybe this will motivate people to get vocal about
Yeah.
how the government is not competent in deciding who dies.
Yeah.
Dude, always.
Oh yeah,
Mike,
dude.
always. Back in the day, we were vaping.
Yeah. I sometimes I miss the cigs, but I'm just I like to make that hand gesture apparently. Oh boy. Sorry, yes, I will curse like that, but I will not read your comment, Dadman.
It's just because I'm typing one-handed.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
My other hand's
Busy.
doing other things, like playing things.
Thanks.
Thanks, Bridget.
Thank you, Bridget. I am so sad. Exactly, Carl. And people want government-run healthcare. This is.
I said it in a stream the other day. Second time this happened to me, I went to that health fair thing.
Yes,
She asked me if I did nicotine or whatever, and I said I vape, and she's like, that's more dangerous than smoking.
No, it is not.
And I'm like, so you're saying I should go back to cigarettes? And she's like, well, yeah, Second time a healthcare professional has told me that I should go back to smoking cigarettes.
Wow, that is shit.
I'm like, how did they get to you?
Yeah.
What kind of training are these people getting?
Oh man. So I had a physical the other day. I thought it was just a follow up on my like medicine change, but
It's a SpongeBob.
apparently it was a physical. So that means it was free according to my insurance.
FUN.
Oh,
And
F
is for no survivors.
Yeah.
Here in the deep blue sea.
But the nurse was like, "Do you smoke?" I said, "Nope."
Yeah. But
And then,
I get tested for it, so
and then
I'm
she
like,
said, "Oh, wait,
Thanks, Joe.
do you vape?" And I said, "Yeah." And she's like, "Do you consider that smoking?" I was like, "Nope." Do you? And she's like, "I don't know."
yeah, the nurse at the doctor's office
Yeah.
was like,
Well,
totally
my
like,
nurse, you always get the bitchy nurses.
yeah, she
I
was
was
an older
like,
lady. She's like, I don't know this newfangled
Yeah.
vaping. It's got to be bad for you.
I was ready. I was ready to just be like, "Hey, don't." But she was like, "You know what? I think it's not. So I'm going to put down here that you don't smoke." And I'm like, "Thank you. Thank you. If you asked me if I use nicotine, I will say yes. Do I smoke? I do not.
Yeah.
I do not smoke."
They changed it this year. They asked if you use nicotine.
Yeah.
Because if you say no, if you say you don't smoke, then they're gonna do some kind of finger stick or something like that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I have nicotine in my system.
Yeah.
All right, we should bring Ryan on because
Yeah,
we're already late.
not
Or
Ryan.
Alan.
Is he ready? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Is he
we've been
ready?
talking.
Okay. I didn't know if he was ready. Yeah. Cigars. Woo, it takes a long time to.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Donnie.
Wait a minute.
government.
Oh, fuck the government. Yeah. that's how I'm gonna.
Thanks, Eric.
Thanks,
We're gonna
Eric.
follow her.
Exactly. I can put whatever I want into my body. Are you serious, Sean Hatchie? My doctor told me to go to the Chinese buffet. I swear that's less. Oh,
Yeah.
Sean.
Is he own a practice and a Chinese buffet?
Let's see. Oh, wait. Someone said Amash was flip-flopping to reach the... Oh. Sorry.
The D's.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Dave's giggling, so let me just read ahead a tiny bit before I say, "Happy birthday, Hugh Janus."
We are not. I just told the doctor, like, we are not here to discuss my blood pressure. Fix the rash.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Okay.
Yes. Yes,
We gotta
exactly.
stop.
It is
'Cause
our.
we'll do this all night.
It is, and this is
so
also
less.
something we can talk to Alan about, because he believes the same things, that it is our bodies and we can do what we want with them.
Celeste is
Max
here.
brought me chocolate cigars. She's been here. I know, but you get caught up in pushing other buttons, and tasting and posting and whatnot. So, oh crap! Wait. Max brought me chocolate cigars. Oh my gosh! Pleased and disappointed. So simultaneously pleased and disappointed with a gift.
What's up, O'Brien? All right.
Oh,
Let's do
man.
this thing. We'll put on our little bumper.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna pre-warn everybody.
Brian.
We didn't do a test connection, so this could go anyway. And now I'm a little buzzed up, so it's gonna be we're going in hot.
Okay.
All
Or
right.
cold?
I don't know.
I don't know. What is it?
Whatever. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back, you guys. Let us know when we get back. Hi.
Oh,
Did that ever
did I turn
happen?
the mics off? The mics are on now. They should be on
Mics
now.
are on.
Okay, here we go.
Can
Ready?
we see? Yes, let's bring him on.
I think we'll have to check his audio when he comes through.
Wow,
Nope, that didn't
that's
work
an
at all.
interesting
I
view.
forgot to do the
It
thing.
is, right? Dave didn't do the thing.
Look,
but...
I'm Joe Biden and Dave is whoever I want tonight. Look at that.
Oh wow! Holy crap! Dave, move your
Look at
head.
that.
Oh, you are there. You're just huge.
Hi. Oh my!
Sniff me, baby. Sniff me. Okay, I see what I did here. Hold on. I gotta make this bigger.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That's beautiful. Yes. It's pretty amazing. Thanks, Alan, for hanging out with us. I want to
hear
know
him?
right
Leave the
now,
comments.
can
Can I hear
people hear Alan? Alan, can you say something? A couple words?
What the hell?
If they didn't hear that last little 15-second display, then it's probably best.
Then, oh yes, he has excellent hair. Ryan Seifert says you have excellent hair.
Yeah, he had a question.
Yes, which I will be asking.
Yeah.
Which was kind of my question for Alan's show, but it's okay, Ryan. I'll ask it here.
No, Ryan is the new super fan of It's Too Late. Celeste and Lyle have been physically removed.
Oh
by
no!
Ryan.
Oh, I was gonna say demoted, but no, physically removed from.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay.
I think I got my top fan badge, and then I went on a vacation for a week off of Facebook, and then I lost it.
Yeah.
Like, son
Top
of a
fan
Yeah.
badges are fleeting.
Facebook. Oh, yeah. Sean Hatchie, it's not the edibles. Alan was just huge there for a moment.
Just for a moment.
Okay, real quick. We got a good question from Ryan here. Is beer a broth?
Oh.
Is beer a broth? Mm-hmm. If you use it as a broth, it is.
Okay.
But what is a broth is dependent on if you're pouring it into another thing.
Okay.
What's he mixing it with? The beer.
Well-
So the beer is going into a bowl, and what's going in?
But I mean, you can just
What if
drink
you just put,
chicken
yeah,
broth.
you can just drink chicken broths or chicken stock. So you could just put beer in a bowl and like use a spoon.
You have to put it in a bowl and eat it with a spoon for it to be a
That
broth.
makes
So-
it a broth.
So you said chicken broth. So in that case, beer. It wouldn't be beer. It's like barley broth.
Oh. It's like you are born to
Hey, Sherry's
really
here.
dissect these.
Hi, Sherry.
This is the only reason I have a show. Yeah, is to talk about food categorization. Yes.
It always comes
So
up.
I want to say to the folks, this is Alan Mosley. He has an awesome show, and it's called "It's Too Late" with Alan Mosley.
Beautiful production.
He rebranded and took time
And I noticed that stuff.
to put like this whole thing together. And I'm telling you what, it is.
Thanks,
Thank
Allison.
you. It is amazing. It's fire, Alan. The whole thing is fire, man. I love
the
it.
format.
I love it. I've
Well, thank
always
you.
listened
And,
to it
and the content
and enjoyed
is pretty
it.
good too.
Yeah, but no.
Yeah.
But this, with all the extra little like bells and whistles and stuff, it's just it's very exciting. So
Very clean.
yeah.
Well, hopefully we're just getting started, and we have like what you're seeing from It's Too Late right now is what we could get done by the deadline. I mean, I could spend 6 more months improving and streamlining and
Oh, sure.
glossing over details and stuff. I mean, we're going to start to incorporate more like pre-recorded skits and videos and all sorts of different stuff. I mean, we're like, I really shy away from the word podcast. I don't want a podcast. I want like a television show.
A show.
And so
yeah.
and so we try to use what resources we have to make it as good as we can make it. And we always we feel like look, like our show is better than what's like on access cable in our area.
Oh, yeah.
And we don't even have their budget, much less the budget of like Comedy Central or something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the direction we hope to go someday.
Oh, yay.
That'd be fun. It'd be fun to have some money, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
To be funny and
Yeah.
not broke.
Yeah.
That's how
I
feel,
love it.
man. That's why I
Eric-
was talking to you.
go ahead.
I'm like, I have visions that I can't make happen, but I know there's people out there that can do it, but they want money for it.
Yes.
It's like,
Yep.
Well, I've a lot of people who know me know that if anybody who had more money than sense came to me and said, "Hey, you can do cool stuff. Can you produce my show? Here's money." I would just quit my show and just take their money and produce their show. I don't give a shit.
I mean, I'd probably still do this, but I'd love to just sit behind the camera and like.
That's what, Dave wants to be behind the camera. I'm like, put me in front. I want to talk to people. So we got a
People have
question
no
here.
idea.
Yeah, Mary has no idea how this works. She's just.
I
Like,
have no clue.
I just
have
bring
no
her down, plant her
clue.
down, and I'm like, okay, there's the camera.
I'm like, what have you been doing down here for 2 hours, Dave? No, I'm joking. I thank him for the show because he's made it what it is. You know, I mean, really, look at this. Eric wants to know if you think Tulsi is purdy.
Do I think she's pretty? Mm-hmm. I mean, compared to members of Congress, she's like a 20 out of 10. But I mean,
It's all very relative.
yeah, I mean, she's not an unattractive woman by most normal stretches of the imagination. But you know, this is like asking So I went to a small community, or not a community. I went to a small private liberal arts college called Maryville College in East Tennessee, and it was small. I mean, the population was smaller than my high school, and in Maryville College, we used to have a phrase called the Maryville goggles, and so it's very similar to beer goggles, where the girls at Maryville were notorious for being not exactly the cream of the crop compared to like UT Knoxville down the street.
Yeah.
And so, but by the time you were a sophomore or junior at Maryville, you started to say, "Hey, man, look at Janie over there. She's pretty cute." But it's the same girl that you thought was butt fugly like 2 years ago. It's because you put on the Maryville goggles. So what it is you've put on the presidential candidate goggles. And I mean, with those on, yeah, Tulsi's a freaking fox. But I mean, come on, guys. Have some
Compared to the rest
self.
of Congress. I love that. So, yeah, because I
like
work in a
that.
shop, and the same thing. Anytime any female walks in the door, everybody's just kind of like,
Yeah.
we've only been here 3 hours, dude. We can leave. But
same
a
day.
woman in the shop. I don't know. I can work with that.
Oh,
horrible.
man. So I want to ask you real quick, and I want to also know what people in the audience think about this too. But we're coming up to daylight savings, and is that something that your state participates in?
And do you rage about
Yeah,
it?
the state of Tennessee still does,
Okay,
unfortunately.
yeah. Unfortunately,
I mean,
we do too. Yeah. What
Yeah.
are your thoughts on it? Because I'm going to say real quickly that I'm excited about it being lighter later, but that's it. I wish they'd pick one and stick with it and
don't care
just
which
stop
one.
fucking with the clock. So, what do you
Yeah.
think about it?
So I'll tell you the little anecdote of producer Blake, who has his goat farm. You know, he really hates this time of year because he needs to get home to feed the goats and put them in the pens before the sun goes down.
Wow.
But when the sun's going down at like 1 o'clock, then he's
Yes.
like, "All right, Alan, gotta go," and brrr, he's out of the parking
wow,
lot.
yeah.
And so that sucks. Like I want to see daylight a little bit later than 3:45.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, do you feel like this whole switching back and forth all the time thing is like stupid? Or should we just stay
Of course.
like go into daylight savings and then just stay there and not go
Yeah,
back and forth?
The switching back and forth is literally libertarian. That's my word. I don't say retarded anymore because that makes people mad. So I just say literally libertarian.
Oh!
Is that Big L?
Yeah. Yeah. That's Big L. That's right. Daylight saving times is Big L.
Oh man, yeah, because it frustrates me because we.
Well,
have
I
the
gotta
kids,
write that
but-
down really quick.
Yeah, do it. Write it down.
That's Big L. All right.
Let's see. Oh, Timothy says that under clothes we're all naked.
Yes.
That's the truth.
And somebody said, Sherry asked about Mondays. Say something about Mondays.
Say something about Mondays. Yes.
What's going on Mondays?
Oh, it's. I just have code words for all the things that trigger people. So, like back in my younger days, I mean, and this was like everybody called everybody a fag when I was in school because fag didn't even mean gay. It just meant you were being a fag.
They did a whole South Park on that.
Yeah, exactly. So even when it was still relatively socially acceptable to say said words, it was like going back to the Maryville College thing, is that was a somewhat liberal area in an otherwise conservative region, and that would trigger people. So our word for fat, ugly lesbians, or just fat women in general, was lobsters. And then, of course, they always hang out with gay men because that's like their little clique. And so we would say, "Oh, look, it's a lobster with a couple of Mondays."
Oh my gosh.
Wow, you're using code.
And so this is the end of my public career.
Yeah.
So thank
Ladies
you so
and
much
gentlemen,
for having
thank
me
you.
on the show.
We'll see you
Fantastic
later,
job.
Alan.
Thanks to Sherry
Later on,
for helping put
stick
the final
around for
nail
the
on this
Late
thing.
Late Show, where we're going to talk about the Great Jewish Conspiracy.
Oh,
Oh shit.
it's time we get this out in the open.
Oh my gosh.
Where's Bo? Bo got banned.
That's the one thing we had our friend Bo on, and he's like, "Is there anything I can talk about?" And Dave was like,
Jews.
Jews. And Bo's like, "Oh, come on."
I I won't name who it is because I don't want to put them in the spotlight, but a good friend of mine, that was kind of his go-to thing, where if people were talking about like, oh, the economy sucks, it's like, well, it's because the Fed's doing this, or oh, did you see Congress did that? He would always wait until there was a pause in the conversation. He would say, well, the Jews control everything, you know.
Oh my gosh.
But he was one of those guys, he could deliver it so deadpan that people were like, like that nervous laughter.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's for real or...
Oh, what was the thing? Schrodinger's douche is a new meme I saw today. It was whatever. It's where somebody makes a highly offensive remark, and then depending on the crowd's response to it, they either say they mean it or they're joking.
Yes.
I thought that was brilliant.
Okay, so depending how it goes over.
So until it's observed, it hasn't been decided where it's going.
Oh, I wonder. Yeah, that's okay. So I have to ask this real quick. Were you near the tornado damage?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you were real close.
So I live in southeast Nashville, and that happened in East Nashville. So I heard the sirens all night, but fortunately I actually died, so I'm dead.
Oh, that's sad.
Okay.
Rippy, man.
Rippy. Thanks for coming on tonight.
Sorry,
anyway.
guys.
Thanks for coming on. Anyways. You're
Thanks for coming back to the shithole.
Real trooper.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was really bad in, like, you know how it is with a tornado. It's like that corridor. We actually had a group of folks here at the studio the other day that were debating what is worse, a hurricane or a tornado. And the general consensus is that, well, hurricanes cause more damage. Haven't you heard of Hurricane Andrew?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I get that, but with a hurricane, it's like 2 weeks before it hits, you're like, a hurricane's coming.
Yeah.
With a tornado, like, this is winter, and we're like, tra la 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 la, it's winter in Tennessee. Oh, 70 degrees, here's a tornado.
Wow.
Like, that literally happened. I mean, no one expected a tornado a couple of nights ago, but yet here we are.
So, like, literally just, I mean, there was no, like, weird kind of weather pattern that was showing that it could possibly be something. It just happened, like...
Weird weather pattern in Tennessee.
I know, because you have the same weather we do. It's like, 32 one day and then 60 the next day, and then it's snowing the next day, and then the following day everything's melted and you're back out wearing flip-flops. It's like, what the heck?
Yeah, it's snowing today. It's gonna be 50 something.
It's a fun Sunday, sunny and 55. I'm like, we need to go out. We need to be outside.
So David Gay said he's wearing a tie at 10 p.m. He's not a farmer.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
What do you wear at 10 p.m.?
So first of all, have some self-respect, and second of all, I'm in Central Time. It's only 9:23, so I'm not in Eastern Time like you guys.
Eastern Time.
We're the center of the universe. We're on New York time.
Oh man.
In 37 minutes, I'll take my tie off.
I just have to send a big F. Oh boy. Nick said that he's dealing with kid puke right now. Pray for us.
Oh, that's exciting.
That is the worst. Oh my gosh. That is so... I can't even let that into my brain. I'm sorry, Nick. I'm praying for you guys. Woo!
Mary hates kid
That's, for me, that's the worst
Trigger.
thing. Yeah. Nope. Okay, so I have to move on to something else that is possibly as scary to me as puke, the coronavirus. What are your thoughts on all of it? And do you think it's being blown up by the media?
Well, it's definitely being blown up by the media. There's no doubt about that.
Sure.
But I mean, I had read something. I know not everybody likes Jeffrey Tucker, but he's still a very smart guy. And his general comment about the whole coronavirus thing is that it's good to remember that, sometimes the media says things that are truthful but not, or factual but not truthful, or truthful and not factual, if that makes sense.
I know what you mean.
They're not explicitly lying, but they're taking things out of proportion, and especially as it regards to the coronavirus. I mean, on the one hand, it's great to report about something and have knowledge, and they can not explicitly be lying about what's happening. On the other hand, they're still organizations that make money based on covering things and people giving them clicks and views.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So whether it's coronavirus or whether it's the Bills in certain regions where they hate themselves and their football fans,
No,
or
come
whatever.
on.
They get clicks and views based on people wanting to watch, and if people want to watch, people watch hysteria. I mean, let's call it what it is.
It sells, yeah.
So,
it's
that's
the truth.
I mean, that's something to keep in the back of your mind whenever any random new thing hits the 24-hour cycle, right?
Yeah, yes,
even the big boys got to play.
And that's what
clickbait.
I do every once in a while. Like, I'll just get kind of freaked out about the coronavirus, and then I'm like, "Well, Mary, wait a second, hold on, let's look at the facts."
Thanks, Toby.
Thanks,
We gotta
Toby.
share. But
let's look at the facts.
they're giving facts without context. They're just saying numbers. Which
Oh, sure,
if
they're
you look
saying
in context
things,
of the numbers, they're very small.
I really enjoyed the South Park meme of, someone hears that they got coronavirus, and it was Randy Marsh saying, "Son, I only have a 98% chance to live."
Right.
Like he's giving his final words or whatever.
Right, yeah, this is it for me. So, with all of that being said, apparently people are freaking out. Sherry says, fear serves politicians. You're right. People are spazzing, buying up all the water, there's
And
no...
dust masks.
And masks. Yes, I went to the doctor the other day just for a physical, and he said to me, we had to lock the masks up because people are stealing them.
My dad would do that. We go in the doctor's office, they leave you in there for a half hour, he starts going through the cupboards.
They leave you in there
I'm
long
paying
enough
for this.
Right? But so apparently the masks don't do anything anyway. So, I mean, what do you think about the hysteria that, people are acting like this is the end of, the human race. So do you have anything, and not just for coronavirus, but as far as in case of any other actual real emergency, are you like a prepper in any kind of way? Do you have anything?
I mean, I'm not really a prepper. I always just assumed I would go to Suzanne Sherman's house and she would keep me alive.
Oh, there you go.
But
there you
it's
go.
always the preppers that are like, yeah, don't come here.
Yeah, that's what the gun is for, is to kill the prepper and take their stuff. Haven't you seen The Walking Dead? What's wrong with you?
No, I have
No, we
not.
haven't.
I have
I
only
think
seen
I
one
quit.
season.
I
That's
quit
the
after a
next
couple
show we should.
episodes.
Yeah, we just finished the season 1 of Witcher, so we're gonna go on to that next one. That
Ooh, The
What's
Witcher's dope.
yeah. What is the one, Dave, that we're gonna watch with the? Alan talked about
Altered
it.
Carbon.
Altered Carbon. Yeah.
Altered
Because
Carbon
you're
is
talking
also
about it.
dope.
Yeah,
So
we have
that's our
not
next-
started that at all. So yeah.
We just finished Witcher, which was fun. It was a lot of fun. I said it was like Game of Thrones mixed with CSI. It
I
was
know,
neat.
Seth, about the kids' symptoms. Kids, my doctor told me too, because I asked him. I talked to my doctor.
Yeah, that's our biggest fear, anyways, with parents. It's like, that's
I'm
fine.
just like, dude,
Take
what do you
me.
think about the coronavirus? And he's like, well, it's not affecting children. I'm like, well, that's great.
You know what? You had mentioned the masks too. The thing about the masks is like a lot of people talk about how like in Asian countries, like in Japan, people wear masks and they're like, oh, and look how healthy they are because they're in tight quarters and whatever.
Yeah.
No, the people who are already sick wear the masks because they're trying not to get other people sick because they give a fuck about other people for some weird reason.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're healthy and you're just walking around wearing a mask, that doesn't do anything. You're literally you're literally a big L. If you're walking around. But according to the news, you want to talk about hysteria. The news makes it sound like everyone who's ever gotten coronavirus then went on a national tour to give other people coronavirus.
I saw videos where people are like wiping snot on the elevator buttons and stuff. I'm like, what? Like, that's why I stopped watching videos like horror
I gotta say that
coronavirus videos.
Toby said that his work had a company-wide email go out that says, use the sink to wash your hands. If you have to tell people to use the sink.
Oh, that was a big thing. It's like, why are we having like soap shortages? What are you guys doing when there's not an outbreak?
Yeah.
You're not washing your hands?
Are you not washing your hands?
Stop touching your face.
And then I touch my face. I was reading about people making memes about, like touching their faces because the CDC said don't touch your face. And they're, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then I'm like, wait, shit, fuck, I'm touching my face. Like, I can't not touch my face. So, I'm just going to read through here real quickly. Let's see. What Eric says? I can't see right,
Oh, you're going way up there.
I am. Well, I want to make sure. Yeah.
The toilet paper shortage in Australia.
Toilet paper shortage in Australia. Wow. What?
These people are afraid they're going to have to lock themselves in their house for like 5 weeks to avoid the flu.
Get yourself a 5-gallon bucket of mac and cheese, says Drew. I've heard of those things existing just because
That
of
exists?
well,
That's a lot of
Rhett and Link,
carbs.
you know, they had those. They
Oh,
do,
these
yeah,
are
Good
carb-
Mythical Morning. Sherry is going to be finishing up the 2nd season of Altered Carbon tonight. Okay,
Wow.
all people agree with you about the Altered Carbon, Alan, because I know you talked about it on your show the other night. Stop touching your face. Look at me, I'm touching my face. So, are you scared? Are you freaked out? Are you? Yes, Sherry. I can't not touch myself. Do you have any fear, concern, or worry? Like, I mean, no one wants to be sick, but do you feel like, are you afraid you're going to get it?
Sucks.
No, of course not. Like
Yeah.
any rational person wouldn't be. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So what are you saying about
Wait,
me when I
wait.
have my little panic attacks, Alan?
He's right.
I mean, yeah, I mean, seriously, like people who are walking around thinking we got to quarantine and we
Yeah.
got to buy up supplies because I don't want to get corona. Like,
Yeah.
you make it sound like tuberculosis.
No, I know.
Like,
I
like,
know.
oh my God, I'm gonna get tuberculosis.
Now let's
and
talk
again-
about. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and again, you're talking about like what 0.00001% of the population
Yeah.
may have to consult a physician this year on a serious risk of TB.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing I'm thinking about. It's like if I actually got this, it's like I don't want to take any time off of work. You know, I got
I just hate being sick.
I got
fucking
plans
hate
and
it.
stuff.
Because every time I get sick, I'm like, this is it, guys. I'm done.
Yeah, I also get man colds too, so it's like
Well, you know, Dave's a tough guy. Like, but when he gets sick and he sleeps for like 16 hours straight, I'm like, oh fuck, and then I start like praying, like, oh my gosh, like please let him be okay. But I get sick, I get a fever, and I'm just like, Dave, this is it. I think it's it. It's 101. I'm pretty sure I'm done. This is it. So, shit. Where was my thought was going somewhere, and I can't remember.
I have
where.
no idea what this show is about.
I don't either.
Well,
We
this
don't
is
either.
what-
This is what we do.
we try to involve the fans or the viewers so that they enjoy themselves.
Yes. Yeah. Hi, Trisha. Coronavirus. Oh.
Oh, I
Wait,
actually
no,
have that button
when-
right there.
Okay.
Looking forward to quarantine.
Apparently, alcohol. I mean, I don't know, and meth, and crack.
There's a lot of cures out there.
There's yeah.
And
People
if you
say
take
a lot
them all,
of
you're
things.
gonna die.
So you know, yeah. Trisha, you don't actually have it though, do you? Like you said, coronavirus here, but you don't actually have it, do you?
Now we have to wait 90 seconds.
And now we do, yeah. Man colds are much worse than coronavirus, says Celeste.
Yeah.
I just don't enjoy being sick. So, oh well, my other thought's going to come back to me. I'm going to read you a couple questions because I removed you from our community just so I could post and not tag you. And
Am I the first person to get kicked out of the Liberty Late Night community?
No,
Peter
no.
Gay.
Peter
Okay.
Gay was the first one.
Oh, okay.
And Dave.
Liberty Memes Admin 1. I kicked out Peter Gay.
Yeah, Dave didn't even tell him. He was
No,
just
I
like,
just kicked him out.
yeah.
We were planning a birthday thing for him.
So I got to go here. Now I took a bunch of screenshots because let's see here. Oh yeah, I made this awesome
By
keto
the way,
pizza.
I just want to mention before I forget, I really enjoyed that tonight's introduction was, yeah, Alabama killed that guy. So anyway, here's Alan. that was awesome.
He's in that area. Probably involved.
Oh,
My
man.
apologies. I really.
We're gonna get better at this.
Oh man. F's
Couple more
for
years.
Trisha. She's got a fever, so everybody send memes for Trisha.
Really?
But I thought, like when I read it last night, I'm like, oh, they paused the whole thing. It's not going to happen. You know, for a little while, they're going to have to go through government red tape and all this bullshit, and whatever. You know,
they,
and then
they
like
kill people quick.
apparently. But they don't kill people quick because
Well,
it
they
takes,
wait a long time and then
Yeah.
they're like, okay, we're doing this.
Yeah, and they're like, listen, we already have it all set up,
Yeah.
so we got to get this
The chair's
going.
here.
Yeah. Well, okay. So
We're
Alan,
paying by the hour.
let's just talk about that for a minute. When did they execute the man in Tennessee by electrocution? You talked about it on your show.
Yeah, we still fry motherfuckers in Tennessee.
That is messed up. Oh my gosh.
I mean, all of it seems pretty rough. It seems like there's easier ways of doing it, but it's like even the lethal injection seems like it can hurt.
Sure.
And then we had a tornado destroy the old Tennessee State Prison where they filmed The Green Mile. Tell me there's not a god, atheists.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Is that where they did that? the Green Mile? Is that where that was?
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's rubble now.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh
Gone.
Yeah.
my gosh. Oh,
Yeah.
just
And so is that guy.
yeah. Oh, yeah. The whole thing.
We talked about that.
Get the sponge. I know. Gosh, who
So-
does that anymore? That is so inhumane. I mean,
So-
just oh.
The key points about Nick Sutton who was the guy that they executed most recently in Tennessee is, so first of all, what like do it in layers of the onion. So first of all, let's say whether or not you agree in capital punishment. Well, first of all, he was sentenced originally to prison or life in prison at like basically 18. And then when he was something like 26, he was involved in a kill or be killed situation in prison, and he killed the guy. And at that point, they brought him in, and it was like, okay, if you and this other guy agree to some type of deal, then you'll just, I mean, he's already got life, right? And the other guy's going to get like 30 years. And the other guy wouldn't accept. So instead, they just gave Nick Sutton the death penalty. And he was the only person in the state of Tennessee to receive the death penalty for a murder committed while in incarceration.
Wow.
Not that murder is good or bad or better in any other particular place. I'm just simply
Sure.
saying, typically speaking, if a prisoner defends themselves in prison from another prisoner, they don't say, all right, well, off with your head. But apparently they
Yeah.
did for Nick Sutton.
That's messed
The next,
up.
the next part of it is that, so that happened when he was 26, right? They executed him when he was 58. So that's 32 years. Like, why did he remain in prison for 32 more years and then finally find him in the chair? That so again, even if you think, oh no, they've got their man, cook him. Okay, why did it take 32 years? It's literally cruel and unusual punishment, and I would consider to be unconstitutional based on that, to make someone stay incarcerated for 32 years contemplating their impending death. That to me is torture, and so that should not be happening. And then of course, finally, specifically as it pertains to Nick Sutton, it's that I always like to make the quip about our nation's our penitentiaries, that they don't really use the term correctional facility anymore as much, or at least as much as they used to, but you still remember that, like you still see on the side of building, they're correctional facilities. What are they correcting? So let's say hypothetically the government actually thought they could build pens and roll you into them, and after some period of time you've been corrected, you've been rehabilitated, and you're ready to go back out. If that's true, then both life in prison and the death penalty just don't make sense flat on their face, because then why are you bothering to put them through this supposed system of corrections? But as it pertains to Nick Sutton, I'll be goddamned, it's the only thing government's ever done right. It worked! This man became a fucking saint. He actually saved multiple prison guards on a couple of different occasions.
Yeah.
Okay.
One was a female guard that somehow, like, bitch fell, apparently, and she falls and takes a huge, like, off the stairs or whatever. And of course, this is a lot of dangerous people are locked up in this place. He gets her keys and her radio and carries her to the gates and calls for her backup.
Wow.
And stays with her till they come to get her. And then in another case where there was a prison riot, they were jumping a guard and he saved the guard. This guy had no less than 7 different correctional officers and members of the correctional facility vouch for him in his clemency
Who
hearing.
were with him
Along with a former district judge who originally at one time presided over one of his cases, as well as a local Vanderbilt professor who was in charge of working with inmates in that particular facility, as well as family members of 3 of the different families that were involved of the violent crimes of which he was originally convicted, all asking for him to receive clemency. And Bill Lee, our governor, literally waited to the last minute, waited for all those letters, all those demonstrations to come in to literally give the copy-paste statement he's given everyone else, and said no. And so I'd also made the comment on my show is that, you know what, if you were... so I know you're a piece of shit, and I know you think it's right for the government to kill people, but beyond that, if you already knew you wanted to see this guy fry, why didn't you just save everyone the hassle and say you weren't going to give him clemency and been done with it?
Yeah.
Why even wait?
Yeah.
Right.
Make everybody fill out all that paperwork.
Yeah. Make them feel
So,
like
I mean,
they're
it should never be lost on people that it's not just that these people believe philosophically or principally different than us. And it's not just that they believe in punishments or sentences or enumerated powers that we don't believe the state should have. They also are genuinely evil about how they carry it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we watched that stream.
Yeah, that was
that video.
just
And I give him no slack at all, because I know in the governor's little copy paste that he had, it was, well, the justice system did its thing. Yeah. It's not my place.
He's just executing.
So that's literally objectively false. You're the governor and you have the power to.
That's how he sleeps at night. That's how he feels
yeah.
okay about it.
That means you are literally a part of the justice system. You're not even hypothetically part of the justice system. You literally are as the governor, and you are just abdicating your responsibility. So again, you could have done everybody a favor and just said, whatever, 6 months before, while they were getting all the petitions together, nah, fuck it, he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and while we're on that subject, you could have done it when the man was still 26 back in the fucking 1985.
Yeah.
But no, you didn't do that. You waited until a couple weeks ago. So I don't want to hear it. These people aren't just different than us; they're evil.
I want to say, like, what is with not that I'm not pro death penalty in any way. I want to. What is with the long ass wait that these poor people have to like live in this? Like, today could be the day or tomorrow could be the day. And they talked about the man who apparently got killed. I didn't know until just now. He ordered his last. He ordered his last meal. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, what's with the 25-year wait for that? Not that I want them to be killed. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
But why do they drag that shit out? What's the reason behind that?
There is literally no logical reason, and I don't even think that they would give you an official reason on the books. I think it's genuinely that they consider it righteous retribution. I mean, what makes them evil is that they're so completely convinced that they have the moral authority to do everything that they do. Making that guy sit around in prison for 30 years and watching as he has a life transformation and does all the things he does, only to then kill him anyway and have him live through a tortured life of waiting for his own death. In their minds, they're just serving up what they deserve.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's the typical conservative line, though, right? I mean, these are the people who support capital punishment. These are the people who vote in these types of politicians, because they'll tell you with a completely straight face he got what he deserved. And
yeah,
I mean, you're just wasting your breath to have a conversation with them.
And what if you wait long enough that people are like, well, that was back in the 70s and I wasn't around, so I'm not gonna,
It seems like that. It's like, well, that was a long time
It's
ago.
Almost like, I wasn't born at that point, or I was in grade school when that happened. So, but it's.
I'm sure he said that it gives the illusion of fairness, like you're giving them time to get all the facts, like.
Yeah. So,
and then
the illusion.
Then when we see like all the facts come in and everybody's like, yeah, that guy didn't do it. I'm like, yeah, but he's already been tried. We're gonna go ahead and
and he already ordered the food. We already have the bed set up. We already have the IV ready to inject him. So we can't just waste the money.
Remember, in our case, we have the chair with the little bucket of water and the sponge.
That's right.
That's what we got.
And who can waste that kind of money and time spent setting that up? Geesh, government, so efficient. It's awful. It really, really is. It just makes me sick. But what you shared, about how people can change, and they can change, and there were so many different times. I mean, my gosh, he picked up that woman guard and all of her things and radioed for help. He could have used that as a time to be just like, fuck it, I'm going to take your keys and I'm going to get out of here, or whatever. I don't know. I don't understand.
Yep.
I don't understand. So, I'm going to move on to a couple lighthearted questions now from our audience, because
that's enough of this.
You know how LLN rolls. So I'm just doing.
Hey, Alan, who else is dead that we don't like?
Let's see. Oh wait, gosh, I got so much to go through. Okay, wait here. Oh, those are my things. Okay, yeah. Okay. Toby, although and I should have done it when he's here, but he went back to work. But he wanted to know, what is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
African or European?
Oh. Ding.
That's fine.
Yes, yes. Oh, Josh wants your response to every, well, it can be every answer, but to be, well, there will be plenty of time for blank when you're living in a van down by the river. Which, by the way,
it's hard to put in.
Yeah, it is. But
a question form.
They're actually doing one of those. Do you guys have cocktails and colors and that kind of stuff where it's like you can go have a few drinks and do some painting? Someone's going to teach you how to paint something. Out. Like, yeah, it's like 2 hours. Yeah. So there's one that's a van down by the river. Here, I'm just like, oh Chris my Farley God, Chris paint paint Chris Farley. Oh gosh. So, this is a good one. Oh man, did you get that picture when you read you?
I didn't do anything.
Oh, okay. Okay. If this is Mike Harwood wants to know, if you were a yogurt, would you be fruit at the bottom or stir? Like, but I think fruit at the bottom is like stir.
That's what I said.
Yeah, usual. So would you be like a pre-stirred one or fruit at the very, very, very bottom?
Well, you don't want the fruit at the bottom. Because then you don't have any options.
Why not?
Well, I mean, if you have the fruit on the side or on the top, then you can decide, oh, I want to have a piece of fruit, or oh, I want to stir it in. But if the fruit's already at the bottom, you're just kind of fucked.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Now, what about the yogurts that are already pre-mixed, though? Like you get a strawberry yogurt.
I don't know. What kind of fag eats yogurt anyway?
Hey, how's keto going, by the way? I wanted to ask. Like, well, I don't know that you're doing keto, but you're doing. Are you doing keto?
Yeah. I have been.
Okay. So I saw on the Whopper thing that you didn't take a bite of the bun because you said you're doing low carb. So.
Yeah, all this is you're just reminding me how ridiculous my show has become. I saw that Whopper thing y'all did.
No, I love it. Are you kidding me?
No,
oh my gosh, I love it.
Attack now.
So, okay, so like you had asked me the other day, is anything off limits, whatever, and I said no. And so far, I'm totally unimpressed. By the way, these questions aren't digging at the soul at all.
No, they're not.
But I'll hit you a little bit on my weight loss journey. So a few years ago, I was in the best shape of my life. I'm only 5'10", so I'm not like 6'5" or anything where 200 is lean muscle. I was when I went to my 10-year high school reunion, I was 265 pounds. I was a big boy at 265 pounds and 5'10", and I was as a lot of people do. They go to that and they're like, "Wow, that was embarrassing. Why did I?" Because I did that, right? No one did that to me. I did that.
Yep.
And so I decided I'm going to get in good shape, and I got down in basically a relatively less than a year. I went from 265 to 171.
Holy cow!
And so for a lot of people who have never, been a fat piece of shit like me and then lost weight, they don't realize your whole life changes. And I don't just mean, I feel great. Look, I'm jogging. No, I mean, you got to go replace your whole wardrobe. And I mean, lots of stuff changes when you have that big of a change. And then, but the thing about keto, and I think the thing about me is, I mean, I'm still a young guy. I like to think anyway. And I've told people I don't really have trouble losing weight. I don't have any trouble gaining weight either. That's the problem. So I went a few years ago, I was 171 and I stopped doing keto. And my idea of celebrating my success was to eat 370 pizzas in a row. And so because of that, I went from 171 all the way back up to 240.
Yeah.
And then when I hit 240, I was 240 around Christmas of last year. Like, I mean, as in 2.5 months ago or 3 months ago. And at that time, I was like, hey, I'm about to have this live show and everyone's going to find out I'm a fat piece of shit. So I started doing keto again because it works. Like a lot of people have really like hardcore opinions about that kind of stuff, like what diets they do and don't and that sort of thing. I don't really have strong opinions. It's more just that I've done keto and it worked.
Yeah.
That's the only opinion I have on it. And so I started doing it again, and I have now... my goal, my pie in the sky dream was, I wonder if I can just go anorexic and be 199 by March 14th. And the answer is no, I could not. But I'm on pace to be about 203. So I'll have gone from 240 to 203 since Christmas.
Wow. Oh, good fucking
Dude, I'm
shit.
I'm
Good
on the
for
same.
you.
I'm sitting right next to you on that ride. Like,
And you're
Yeah.
you're saying the same things that Dave says to himself because he's looking in the mirror
yeah.
and he's just like, I'm a fucking piece of shit.
I,
And I'm
yeah,
like, you're
I made,
not a
I
fucking
made a
piece of
group
shit,
called
Dave, but
Low
he's like,
Self-Image Squad. It's like where you just like,
So it's a couple of things. It's number one, there's no better time than now. Like, I'm still young enough that like I can treat my body this poorly and I haven't died.
yeah.
So good for us. And maybe if we do this for another 10 or 20 years, then we have a massive coronary and croak. So maybe we should start today.
Right.
Yeah, and then and the second thing is you're talking about like self-image and all that. Like, you know, being like exercise, of course, is good. Being in good shape is good. But I've never been like, I'm going to go run a marathon or, you know, I'm going to put the little tag on the back of my car of whatever I've run or whatever.
Yeah.
Those people
26.2.
those people are big L's. But anyway, but, you know, now it's going to be a lot easier to do it today than it will be any other time.
Right.
And even though I do feel better, and even though it is working, quote unquote, I'm so glad people think that I'm funny and happy. I'm actually the most miserable person on the planet Earth right now. Oh yeah, dude. Like we have a drink around here called Sundrop. I don't know if y'all have that up in Pennsylvania. I'll get you some when when I see you.
Yeah.
Sundrop. So
Curious.
imagine a yellow citrusy type drink like a Mellow Yellow or a Mountain Dew, but pour in like 50 times more flavoring plus some gasoline.
Whoa.
That's Sundrop.
So it's alcoholic.
What's it do for you?
No, it's not alcoholic at all. But I mean, it's probably worse. I mean, it's a drink. Like it's sold on store shelves. It's not like moonshine that I'm making.
Okay, I was gonna say.
I mean, I was a guy that look, I would drink like a 2 liter of Pepsi every day. You know, I was, and I would eat out a lot. And when you get busy, and especially when you do a lot of work at a desk, you brown bag it all the time. So again, it's super easy to gain that weight.
Oh yeah.
And it's not even like I'm like, oh yeah, low carb, man, keto. That's the way to do it. I don't really even have a strong opinion. I'm just saying I did it and it worked.
Yeah.
And also being the low time preference, greedy, angry American that I am, I want to be done. I want to reach my goal, declare victory, hang the mission accomplished banner from the aircraft carrier, and move on. So I'm willing to be terribly depressed right now in order to reach my goal quicker. And so it's not that I'm necessarily endorsing keto for everyone. I'm just saying that I have like a shake and then a piece of cheese and then a shake, and then if I have to eat because my organs are failing, I'll eat like a little, like a scrambler, like a bacon, egg, and cheese thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm talking like I'm eating like 700 calories a day here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So
it's weird how you're not that hungry either. You're just like,
that's the thing too. Yeah, after you do it for a while, like of course it sucks. And I mean, obviously I'd love to go down the street right here and grab some nachos and a Pepsi, but
Doritos,
you
man.
don't. When one day you wake up and you realize, hey, I don't have the cravings I had yesterday.
Yeah. Yep.
It's not as bad. And so in my mind, and I know that this sounds like selfish or shallow for people who do struggle with it. In my mind, the struggle is not losing it. The struggle is, okay, when I hit 171 like this August, how am I going to not go back to 240?
Yeah.
That's the struggle is real right there.
Do this forever. Forever?
Maintain.
Like no more Big Macs. Ever?
No, not
more
ever.
French fries?
Not ever.
Yeah.
You can have those things once in a while. You can have a Big Mac if you want to. Like, I'm already excited about Dave's birthday because I'm going to have a turkey Rachel, and that's bread, motherfucker. That is some bread and French fries, you know. I am excited about eating that sandwich, and it's like 2 weeks away. And so I'm just like, keep going.
You want to talk about how depressed I am? So we're having a dessert bar for the attendees of episode 100. I can't have any of it.
Yep.
I'm just going to watch everybody eat.
Oh my gosh. But wait, you're already, I mean, you won't allow yourself even one thing.
No.
I won't do it. And I definitely have. So first of all, I've been there and done that. I've gone through the strain. I've ridden an exercise bike a couple of hours a day and eaten, microwave dinners and lost. So last time I lost basically 90 pounds because my height was about 260, 265. And then I gained like 70 of it back. So it's kind of like I look at it the same way like an alcoholic looks at drinking. Like if you've stopped drinking, that doesn't mean have a few drinks on the weekend, and it means you don't drink. And it's because you identify yourself as a person who has that weakness. Now, I'm not saying I'm never going to have a slice of pizza ever again in my life, but while I'm in the program and between now and when I hit my goal weight, no, there are no cheat days. People who do cheat days are full of shit. There's no cheat days here. A cheat day is just setting you back 3 or 4 days from your goal. Why would you do that to yourself?
Because I need something to look forward to, because I have nothing.
Take that, Mary's kids. She needs something to look forward to.
I love my kids. I'm here every day with them. Yeah, I'm just like, whoo, I need something. Dave doesn't. Yeah, we were talking about last night, like your birthday. We're like, we're going to eat French fries.
And on that same token too, like the last time I lost a ton of weight, I did a lot of working out. I did just all cardio because I didn't give a shit. I just wanted to lose weight, just lose weight. Yeah. And I did. This time I'm actually not. And you know what? I'm losing weight at the exact same rate as I did before. Yeah. And I'm not saying that therefore don't exercise. I'm not saying that. Yeah. What I'm saying is that in my mind, and there's recent studies to back this up, the key to losing weight is a diet. The key to remaining healthy once you reach your goal is exercise.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah.
So we'll all get together again and talk about our exercise routines in like 3 or 4 months when we all get to where we want to be.
Yes.
In the meantime, we just starve ourselves and cry.
Yeah, I know.
That's
well, I'm going to tell you.
Last time I lost weight, I was running a mile a day. I run a mile every day.
Mm-hmm.
I just get home from work, I get out of the car, and I just start running.
Yeah,
and it came off, and I did the same thing. I was around 250 or so. And I got down to, I think my lowest was like 185. And everybody was like, you look like you just walked out of a camp. Because I'm 6'4". So 185 is like...
My dad's like, Dave should get a tattoo, like a barcode. Like, he looks really... he looks really sick. So, but I know, like, okay, so I'm going to...
I was looking at ketchup packets, and I'm like, oh, that'd be pretty good right now.
I feel happy about I've curbed the... craving for like sugar, like the kids, you know, they'll have their cookies or whatever. And the other day I was having a bad day and I was like, I'm just gonna fucking eat those cookies. And I was like, you know what, that's an emotional thing. Like, that's not even a physical craving right now. Like, I mean, it turned into a physical craving, but it was emotional. I was having a rough day and I just thought, I'm gonna go in the bathroom and I'm gonna eat like 3 cookies. But how am I going to feel afterwards? And that's what I've been asking myself. I made a keto pizza tonight with it's low carb, like high fat, really good. It actually tastes like bread, not eggs or cheese. You know, cheese. Yeah, it was so good. Oh my gosh. So, but anyway, I need to know I can still have some of those things. And if that worked for me. That worked. Like that fed my, and I only ate 1 piece in a salad. I was like, I'm so full. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I'll tell you a couple of the things that have really helped me out is because before, again, like my big thing was soft drinks. I was chugging so much high fructose corn syrup, like big time. Now I only drink. So like, look, I hate just drinking water. Like that's just like at the end of the day, whatever thing you do, whatever your routine is, it's got to be something you're going to do for the long haul. If you can't stick with it for more than a week, why even bother? You know? So I actually have my can right here. So I've been drinking a lot of sparkling ice. The sparkling ice, it's like, you know, it's like sparkling water flavored stuff. Yeah. So the stuff in the bottles is just carbonated flavored water. And the stuff in the cans has caffeine in it. It has a little plus caffeine. Because I didn't want to have to deal with the caffeine withdrawals. No, fuck that noise.
One thing at a time. One thing at a time.
So I have my, because I needed a fizzy drink. Like I'm used to drinking fizzy drinks and water's bland. So I do drink water, and I do drink like flavored water that's not carbonated. But I've got my carbonated drink. I've got my caffeine.
Good.
I've got my carrots are good. Like there's foods out there, it's one of those things where you have to sit down and you look at like the internet or whatever and you think, what are foods that are genuinely really healthy that I do actually like, that I won't be like, oh man, I don't want to have to buy this crap.
Right.
It's like, well, I like carrots, I like broccoli, so I eat that stuff.
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, for people out there who are the keto types, you're supposed to have a lot of fat content. Yeah. So I mean, I love me some motherfucking cheese.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
yeah.
But there's
I got my cheese snacks all over the place. I eat that stuff.
I've been like cheese and pepperoni just like all the time.
Are you eating the
Yeah.
avocados? The avocado.
No, I don't do the avocado.
Is that where you draw the
stuff.
line? Is avocado?
Yeah. I don't do kale and all that
No.
stupid crap. I don't do all that. I mean, again, like so my girlfriend Anna Kay, she does the green smoothies and does like spinach and kale and stuff. And I'm like, I know I won't like that, and that'll just make me get mad and go to McDonald's. So I'm just not gonna do that. I'm just gonna do the things I
It's gonna
want.
be a violent reaction to that.
I try filling myself up on, like, if I feel like, oh my gosh, because the first week I felt suddenly hungry. Like, I would be really full, but then all of a sudden I would get violently hungry, like hangry, like so bad. And it would just come out of nowhere. And I would just shovel almonds into my mouth while I'm trying to like make something for myself to actually eat. I need to find things that I can prep that are easy for me. I've been on Pinterest and I'm doing better, but sometimes I get so hungry that I'm just like, do you ever get so hungry that nothing looks good or sounds good? Like you just can't, like, ugh, you know? Dave's like, we have so much food here. I'm like, I know, but I don't want any of it. I'm so hungry that I have to force myself to eat something.
No, I mean, no. After you've done keto for a month or two, you're just dead inside, and you don't feel that anymore. I'm better
now.
Really...
It was the first week that was kind of rough, you know, like and learning to eat eggs in the morning without toast. I'm like, woo! I'm trying a new chia pudding tomorrow for myself with almond milk and chia seeds. And I'm going to see how it goes. And you can add vanilla and stuff and, you know, whatever. But so we'll see. We'll see how.
No, I was going to say, I'll give you one more recommendation. And I mean, I hate to say this with David not here because he needs this. But
hold on a second. He's just going to pee. He's going to come right back.
Oh, by the way, congratulate him on dressing up so nice for the show.
You know what though? I love that sweatshirt on him when it's like.
I wasn't even worried about the sweatshirt. I was worried about the pants.
Oh, the pants. Yeah, he was. Yeah, those pajama pants.
See, it's a rookie mistake. If you're going to do a show like this and you're going to look good on the top half and just be naked on the bottom half, you're supposed to not get up from your chair. That's how that works.
That's kind of what we're going for, though, is that everyone knows that he wears the pajama pants.
At least I'm wearing pants.
So anyway, David, now that you're back, another really good food. So for people that hate gays and they go and eat in Chick-fil-A, they have their grilled chicken nuggets. Those things. So first of all, they're ball. And second of all, they're surprisingly. I mean, anyone who does a lot of keto, you know, a lot of like grilled meat is usually pretty low in calories overall. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's keto, right? Calories in, calories out. So the whole point of keto is that a lot of what you eat in general is lower calorie. Surprise, surprise! Sweets are generally high in calorie, and other things aren't. Their grilled chicken nuggets are surprisingly low in calorie, and of course, you know, basically no carb, and they're pretty good. Yeah. So. And like they just give them to you like in a little cup. You can get a cup of grilled cheese nuggets. And I mean, it's not glamorous, but for people who are on keto, who are used to just suffering, not eating, you get those and you're just like,
yeah, it's
you
grilled chicken nuggets instead of breaded deep fried.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still kind of lean because you're looking for the fat because like chicken breast.
But still, that's
Dave
brought home
then go home and do a shot of coconut oil. Or something.
I got that MCT oil or MTC or whatever, like because it's high fat. And I've been putting coconut oil in my coffee, and I'm just like, God, please don't let me die. Like I'm not used to like putting all this like fat in here. But the important thing is that you are actually low carb and high fat. But if you're like eating high fat and high carb, then you're looking for a heart attack, you know, because your body doesn't know what to burn. It's still burning the carbs, and then all that fat's just sitting there. But you make that switch.
That's interesting. So what you're trying to tell me is I was looking for a heart attack since like 1989.
Yeah. Me too. I mean, not like purposely, but
and I couldn't find it. Yeah,
I couldn't find it. Damn it.
Well,
the biggest thing is like I get burgers at work because like I'd forget food and I'd go to work and I'd eat out of the vending machine. And we have like vending machine cheeseburgers, which is like my guilty pleasure. But like the hardest thing, because I'm so frugal, is like taking the bread off of the sandwiches and just throwing it away and paying $1.50 for what's left in the middle. I'm like, but it's all high fat, you know. It's like it's exactly what I'm looking for. Yeah. It's just so hard for me to throw that stuff away.
What kind of guilty pleasures do you have, Alan? Is it a show? Is it is it? Well, it's not eating something now at this point. So
I mean, it used to. Most of those used to be food. Now it's
Okay.
not. Now it's Now I have no pleasures. But guilty. I don't know. What's an example of a guilty pleasure that's not food? Help me out here.
Oh, maybe like a TV
show.
Like you like Gilmore Girls or something.
Yes, exactly. You watch Gilmore
Christ.
Girls, and
I
you
don't know.
know.
I've never seen it, so I don't know what it is. But
So real quick, it's not a guilty pleasure. I hate that garbage. But there's a handful of TV shows I've seen because Anna Kay liked them, and I'm a good man, goddammit.
Yeah.
So I've seen them.
Yes.
So I've seen
yay.
a ton of. I've seen all of Gilmore Girls. I've seen a ton of Degrassi. I've seen a ton
sounds
of
familiar.
what's that shitty teenage vampire show?
Buffy?
No,
No.
more modern.
The movies.
Is it with the movie?
No,
It's
no, it's a
not
TV
the
show.
Twilight. I don't know. I don't
not
know what
Twilight?
it is. Yeah, I don't know.
Guys in chat, what's the vampire TV show?
Oh, I don't
It-
know.
Carl
it's-
says his is
oh.
listening to Nickelback.
Jesus.
You animal.
It's actually bothering me that I can't remember the name of that show.
Oh no!
Uh,
Someone tell him, please.
90-second delay. The
The
Vampire,
Vampire
Diaries.
Diaries.
True Blood.
Yeah, Vampire Diaries. It's
Okay.
Vampire Diaries. Yeah,
Okay.
that's right. Yeah.
Hogan's Heroes, says Sean Hatchie. Were there
Um,
vampires in there?
Okay, so guilty pleasures. I mean, I don't even know if it's necessarily like. I mean, I have no shame, so there's not a lot of guilt involved. I mean, I'm not a gamer as much as I used to be, but I still play some games from time to time.
Yeah.
I wish I had time.
Okay, so
I
oh, go ahead.
I used to play a lot of RPGs, which of course those are very time-consuming games, which
yeah,
I definitely
hours
don't
of
have time
grinding.
for. But I used to love that shit. I mean, I grew up with my little NES and played all the Dragon Warriors and all that
Just
cool
like
shit.
killing
I mean,
things to get experience points, hours and hours.
Okay, so I was going to ask you. I thought of it today when I was like, "Am I the only inverted gamer in our
Oh.
house?" Or do you know? Like, are you? Do
Like
you know?
down
what,
for
like,
up and up for down when you're looking around.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a commie, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a commie. I am the only inverted one
Hold
here.
on.
The kids are like, the kids are like, why is it when I look up, I'm seeing down? I'm like, because mommy grew up with Atari. I don't know.
You're playing airplane
I
games
see.
or something.
I see Seth down there talking about Final Fantasy. Hey, the Final Fantasy VII remake is going to be coming out pretty soon.
That
Shit's
was
going to be dope. That was a game from my childhood
Yep,
that they're
yep.
remaking.
That was a
Yeah.
very important part of my life, like a very big
Yep.
part of my life. I was playing
Big
Final
part,
Fantasy
yeah,
VII.
yep.
I
Yep.
got out of that relationship, but I only got one disc out of 3, so it's not very helpful
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Wow.
on the PlayStation.
Dave's
Got
still
really
holding
sad
on
all of a
20 years
sudden.
later. 20 years
Yeah.
later.
I forgot I didn't take all the discs with me, and I wasn't going back for them.
No going back. Hi, Adam.
Yeah.
That's the set.
Yeah, I mean,
But that's
I don't
how my
know. I was
brain
trying to
works.
think of like a few odd and things that I do that maybe people don't know about me. Like, I mean, I'm a musician, so there's the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
music aspect of things.
Yes. Yep.
So that's the thing.
Um,
It's like we had you on before, so we didn't really get deep into like who you are. Just kind of like what's going on now.
Yeah.
But
Who,
we don't-
who is Alan Mosley?
who is it? Yeah.
Who
Let's
is
dig
he?
in.
Yeah.
Let's dig in.
What the hell happened?
Well,
to
I
you?
have this is actually a very important question.
Okay.
Because I also wanted to ask this about your hair product, but Ryan Seifert wanted to know what
Okay.
brand of leave-in conditioner he uses in his hair. I'm always looking for recommendations.
Okay.
Ryan's here, and he's probably sincere about that question. I want
And he is,
Okay,
yes.
'cause
And
he's
I
got
was
some
too.
hair on
I
him.
was too. Because your hair looks thick. Is it thick? And I'm like, what do you
Okay.
do to your hair?
So, I think I can still hear y'all because this is turned up so loud. But
Okay.
so you see this monster mane right here. What I literally do with my hair is I get out of the shower.
That's it?
I use no type of hair care product other than washing it from time to time. I don't use any type of styling product. I never have.
What? What do you wash it with?
Shampoo.
I mean, what
And
kind? Is it like a special like?
I don't know. It's I'm a dude. It's probably just the stuff. It's just
Yeah.
probably just the body wash that's also a shampoo. I mean, this
Whatever
is this
costs
is.
like
Yeah.
$2.
I mean, I have naturally curly hair and it's thick as fuck.
Wow, dude, mine's thick
Yeah.
and dry. Like it's just like Wow. Okay.
I'm not
so
even, actually, you know what? I'm not even bragging. I trimmed my hair like a few inches maybe 6 months ago, and I got angry calls and emails.
and that's what Sherry's saying right now.
Alan should never cut his hair
I know
ever.
she is.
I want to send
Now, what's the
big
interval?
love and
How
prayers
o-
to the
how-
Shorts family because they're cleaning up kids' puke.
How
but they're
often do
watching
you
LLN.
wash your hair?
How often do you wash it? Yeah, that's a good question.
Not very often.
Yeah, I
So,
wash mine like.
do you shower sometimes and not wash your hair?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Wow.
Do you wear
That's why it's got that sheen.
a thingy? What do I
Oh,
have? Shower
a
cap.
shower
Do you wear a shower cap? I do.
I soak my hair every time I take a shower.
Really?
I seriously don't do anything special with my hair whatsoever. It just looks like this because I'm a beast. That's
Wow.
it.
It's
That's all it
magic.
is.
It's magic.
So look,
yeah.
like these are the genes I have. I have the genes for the best hair in America. I can easily become a fat piece of shit, and
Yeah.
I can't stop myself from eating. So I've got that one too. And I make podcasts.
Yeah.
magic.
That's
There
what I
you
said.
go.
Like
That-
some of these guys, like, oh, I
that-
can't gain weight. I'm
Mine
like,
is
dude,
frizzy too,
come on my
Brian.
plan.
Yep.
I'm like, I will coach you. Did you
Yeah.
ever put mayonnaise on a hot pocket? Let me show you how we do this.
You know, I recently told somebody we were having a conversation about health habits and dieting and eating, and I had said something that we eat down here in the South, and this person who lives in the South, but they're not originally from here, had said, "Oh, I've never heard of that," and my response to them was, "You merely adopted the obesity. We down here, we are born in it and molded
Born
by
into it, yes.
Our bottles were filled with well, you not Mountain Dew, but it's
Oh,
drop.
man.
Yeah, when we're growing up around here, you know, the moms of the family cook, and they always say there's going to be leftovers, but they actually expect it to all be eaten that night.
Yeah.
So you're getting what's effectively 3 portions that a healthy kid should eat. And if you don't clear your fucking plate, they will
Yeah.
literally kill you.
Yeah.
You'll
Literally.
be beaten to death. So you're just going to
It's
be
not even
fat.
concerned. Just
More
violence.
food for the others who are
Just-
gonna clean their
yeah.
plates.
Yeah, just do it. Just be fat. Just do it. It's easy.
Do you have? It is easy though. It is in a way. It's easier. Like it's easy, but not. Do you grown a beard? What's your beard situation?
You can't grow a beard as a late night show host.
Okay. All
Uh-oh.
right. Okay.
Yeah, so I actually started shaving every Tuesday night ever since we started It's Too Late. You can't be scruffy on a late night show.
Oh, but
It's
what,
like-
what would it look like though if Alan took a couple weeks off?
If anyone goes to the old
Alexander.
library of the Gold Standard episodes,
Okay.
way back, probably somewhere around maybe the
Take.
20s or 30s in episodes, there was a few weeks where I did Evil Twin Alan, where I had like the mustache and goatee.
Oh my
No
gosh.
So yeah, and we had actually planned to do a fun little segment where, like, you know, we would pre-record part of the show. So when one part of the show I would have the beard and
And
goatee,
that's
and another part of the show I wouldn't. But I wouldn't even mention it. You just keep going. You
Yeah.
just keep talking as if nothing has changed, and see if anyone even bothers to recognize it. I think we ended up scrapping that completely because that takes work.
Oh, no, that's
But-
awesome.
But you can find there is footage out there of me with facial hair.
Okay.
I like it because
And-
it
and-
hides the extra chins. For me.
Well, yeah, or just don't be a fat piece of shit. So that's what I'm trying.
That sounds like a lot.
I
of
mean,
work.
I've had an extra chin for quite some time. It's almost gone, actually. It's almost.
Fantastic. Yeah.
So, but anyway, and Anna Kay really hates facial hair, so
Okay.
Ah.
I'm loving
He-
this. This is fine. Like when he just
Caleb.
goes, "Hi, Caleb." When he
Like a full
just,
Amish.
or homeless, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, there's some winters where I don't get anything trimmed. Anything. No. And
Alan
yeah,
wants
when
to know
this
that.
when this hair is long and this
Shame.
like I have pictures like where I had the hair growing out and the beard like epic beard,
mhm.
but it
Yeah.
still doesn't fill in
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, and yeah,
Well, and
Hey.
there was that time that I remember you saying to me like, "I am not cutting any of my cranial hair for the next 6 months," and it was like October, and I was like, "Fuck me, not literally." Oh, it was bad. It
you're-
was so bad. Oh,
if you're not growing your hair to the shoulders, you're a coward.
ooh, ooh.
Did I ever have hair that long?
But I'm just shocked that like because Ryan said too like his hair is like dry and frizzy and so is mine. And if I get my hair wet, it's gonna, You know, like, so I am all about the, I'm doing the, shower cap thing. I'm the old lady in the shower. Like, don't get my hair wet, you know? I want to make sure we get a chance to, ask more questions. So,
Okay.
Lyle wondered, and you know the meme.
Where is Lyle? We didn't even say hi to Lyle.
Was
We can't
he
tag
he
him.
mowing his grass the entire time when tornado was devastating
You
his
know the
community? You know that meme, right?
Yeah.
Where the guy's mowing. Okay, so
Yes.
and Dave actually put your face on that guy, and then we didn't get a chance to bring it up. So, but it was hilarious, just so you know. And I'm sure you weren't mowing your grass, right? What were you doing when the tornado sirens started going off?
I heard the sirens and didn't even bother to check to see what the sirens are about, because that's just how nihilistic I am.
Okay.
And but as a fun fact, so we live on, or don't live. We have a 2-floor townhouse, and our bedroom is on the top floor. Anna Kay got up and went downstairs with the cat, with Sebastian.
Yeah.
And because she was actually seriously concerned, oh, it's near here, we might be in trouble.
Yeah.
But she went downstairs to hide and to check the weather and see how close it was before alerting me. She was going to let me stay upstairs. And then I'd said, wait a minute, you know that by the time you see the update on Twitter, like, the tornado's already gone, right?
Yeah.
So if it had been coming this way, you just killed me. I'm dead.
Yeah. Right.
Wow.
We've had that kind of stuff happen around here. And
Well, how's your life insurance?
Yeah. Oh.
What do you mean insurance? I believe in the Lord.
There you
That's
go.
the only insurance I need.
That's right.
Okay, so, and the other night you talked about Taco Bell versus coronavirus, which is worse.
Dude,
Yeah.
I
Taco
think you
Bell-
guys,
I said if I
Derek's
ever
wanting
quit
to
my
know,
job,
like,
if I
I mean, how
became
can
a
you
millionaire-
denigrate Taco Bell? Huh?
If I became a millionaire and like I could just quit my job and like pursue my passion, I think I'd go work at Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, hold on. All right, here's a cultural thing we're about to deal with. Say the name of that restaurant one more time.
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
It's
Bell.
Taco Bell. It's not
Taco
Taco Bell. It's Taco Bell.
Oh my gosh, it's
No.
subtle, but it means a lot.
Wait, okay, wait.
It means yes, it means a
Listen,
lot.
we're going to, Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
Say it.
It's not. It is what it is not is Taco Bell.
Taco
What
Bell.
it is Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. No, I've never said. I've never. Oh my gosh, who says it like that? Taco Bell.
Wow.
Y'all are fucking Yankees. Jesus.
Yeah.
Fucking Yankees. Wow, have I caught in that one before? I don't mark that down.
It's not real Mexican food, for sure.
No.
However, that Mexican pizza, I'm saying that's about the only thing I just love.
No, I never said it wasn't. It wasn't tasty.
It was just more likely to kill you than.
But
It's
okay,
way
so
more likely to kill you than coronavirus. It's not even up for discussion. Are you kidding?
not even
The
up
fact
for
that
discussion.
you will eat Taco Bell and not get coronavirus literally settles the debate.
So, Taco Bell is going to kill you?
I mean,
Over
more likely than coronavirus, yes.
Okay, yeah. Taco Bell.
Like Sherry
I'm
says,
sorry,
y'all
Sherry.
can't even honor Taco Bell properly. Caleb, Ellen, shut up! You're pissing me off.
But he's from Canada, so
Yeah. He's
I
just all
know,
about Tim
right?
Hortons. He's
Oh,
so
man.
Speaking of that, the guy that I referenced earlier, where I said we were born in the obesity, that guy's from Canada. I was like, you fucking don't know.
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Donuts and
yeah.
coffee, you don't
yep. Oh, my goodness.
If we lived in Canada, we would just drink maple syrup.
Yeah.
That's what we do down here.
Mm-hmm. Now, that's
Oh,
a natural
God.
sugar. What are your thoughts on, like, natural sugars? Because you're doing the keto thing. Like, are you... You're just no. Because, no.
I'm basically getting no sugar
I
at
forgot.
all.
Okay, okay.
Yep.
Yeah. That's it,
I mean,
too.
you know,
Like, they say,
so-
stay away from all
Okay,
of it.
so you know the hardcore keto thing of like you can theoretically subtract sugar grams with
Fiber.
dietary fiber
Yeah.
and all that. I don't risk it. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I can't emphasize enough. I want to be done with this miserable shit
Yep.
as soon as possible, and I'll be done quicker by not cheating.
Yep.
So don't talk yourself into shortcuts.
Yeah, I didn't take enough time to research the whole fiber to carb thing, and I'm just like, fucking. Yeah,
Oh, read Ryan's comment right there really quick.
It's Taco Bell, don't you know?
Don't you know?
Oh,
No, 'cause
don't you
he's-
know? Because
oh,
he's
he's
in
in
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
No, wait. Is he in Minnesota? No, he's in Wisconsin.
Either way, it's Minnesota.
Yeah, Wisconsin. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
Stay away from the tree of knowledge. Oh, and Taco Bell. Don't eat that shit either.
You're going to hell if you say Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
It's Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. Wow, that's so weird. Oh my gosh. Oh my
I'm
gosh.
just fascinated that you found that nuance.
Yeah.
Is
Well,
it
you know,
Waffle
I've had a
House?
lot of people. I've had a lot of people tell me who have heard me narrate things, or heard me do music, or heard me give talks
Yeah.
or whatever, that as Southerners go, I don't really have a deep Southern accent.
No,
but
there's
I'm
a twinge.
originally from here. I was born here.
There's a little
Both
bit,
sides
but
of my
it's
family
not.
are
Yeah.
from here. I mean, my family in both directions, every generation is Southern, but I don't talk like this, y'all.
Yeah.
I don't.
No, you don't talk like that, because that's what I think Southerners talk like. No, I'm just joking, but
Yeah.
but no, I mean I can hear a little bit of an accent, but it's not like
Yeah. It's there.
as where I feel like I have no accent, but people are like, oh, you have an
No,
accent
we
because
have
you're
a
from.
non-regional
We
dialect.
we are the normal.
Yeah, we
regular.
speak English
Yeah.
properly.
You keep telling yourself that, Taco Bell, you piece of shit.
Yeah. Right. Nick says, are we piling on the Canadian?
Yeah, fuck Canada. Let's go after that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Fuck
I want to
Canada.
ask. Toby wanted to know about. Remember the dress, like blue and gold, or what was that?
You just shared something the other day.
Oh, did
Didn't
you? I
Was
didn't
that
get
you?
to see it. What was?
Did I?
Oh,
Was it the Adidas?
The Adidas thing. I think that was.
Who did that?
That
Are you,
could have been
are you
real,
talking about? Are you talking about on FunnyBroke?
I don't know.
maybe, but.
Okay, so might as well just go ahead and spoil this now. So we have people now to run the social media because I don't.
Really?
Yeah. If it's me, you'll see it's from Alan Mosley. If it's FunnyBroke, it's our team of scientists.
Nice.
Oh my gosh! Fucking
Wow.
cheers to
Yeah.
you, bro.
Big time, man.
That's awesome.
They're
Yeah.
actually going to be here at episode 100. There's going to be a lot of cool ass people here at episode 100.
Oh my gosh! And that's just coming up in a week.
Mhm.
So 100 episodes. That's a big deal.
I actually feel bad for all the people coming who think that we actually have planned content. Like it's so
Now-
sad for them. Yeah.
Is it gonna be live? Like your show's going to actually be live for live in front of
Or
a
we
live
record
studio
it.
audience?
I don't think I understand the question. All of our shows are live. Next question.
Let's see.
See, because we're lazy, so
What-
we don't do pre-recorded.
Okay,
'cause
Yeah,
we
okay.
I
feel
can't-
So
I
the
can't.
serious, the serious answer is that if you're in the room, it will in fact be live.
Okay.
Oh yes.
I dig it.
Okay, I totally
Yeah.
dig it. So did you see? I want to ask though, like when that whole like blue gold. What was the dress thing?
Yeah, the blue
remember
and
the
gold
dress? Like, do you remember the dress?
Because it was blue and
Yeah,
gold.
I do.
It wasn't any other
Yeah.
color.
What color did you see?
I think I remember seeing the blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember. I feel like I saw the opposite of you because I was always just like, what
No. Oh, that could be true because if you don't have somebody in your personal sphere that says no, that's that color,
the? Yes.
then you just think it's another internet joke.
Do you know where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
She's probably dead by now. I'd wager.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's
you
been
think
a while.
so?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because she was older when we first saw that.
Yeah.
Toby wants to know.
So hell,
Okay.
probably. I mean,
Oh,
right where she belongs.
Toby wants to know, where is the beef?
where is the beef?
Where is
It's
it?
not at Taco Bell. I can promise you that shit. That's meat paste.
That's grade C.
Oh,
That's
boy.
fine. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I know. My dad
I
told me
know what
that
I'm
once.
getting
He's
into.
like, that's like grade D, like, you know. And I'm just like, shut up. And now he eats a Taco Bell when he.
Would you take a shot of that meat out of the squeezer into your mouth?
Nope.
Yes,
Oh.
totally. Because that's what it's all made out of. That's what I'm there for. That's what I want. It's all the same thing.
Okay.
It's that
Okay.
ground up beef paste. Give it to me.
Okay.
Where's my car with
I
me?
feel like people are learning
I
more
said-
about you than me on this show.
But also,
Right.
like... So I'm thinking, though, like, I'm just there for the Mexican pizza, or the cinnamon twist, right? You know, but I don't eat sugar anymore, so I can't do that. Okay, so Aaron says, and I apologize if I read any of these words wrong, okay?
Oh, shit.
If there were to...
I'm 25 minutes past. Sorry, guys.
Oh,
I
no,
was
are you...
supposed to
Do
take
you
off.
have to go?
Yeah.
Do you have to go?
No, I was supposed to take my tie off when it got to be 10 o'clock.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
good. Phew.
Well,
Some people got all
yeah,
flustered
David,
about
David
it.
Gay's long
I
gone.
feel better now that you're taking her tie off, because...
Yeah.
Okay, if there were to be a zombie apocalypse, would the zombies be like Romero, Night of the Living Dead? Did I say that right?
Close enough.
Okay. Shamblers, okay. The 28 Days Later,
Oh, the
Sprinters,
runners.
No.
a happy medium, or a mixture of both. What are you thinking if there were to be a zombie apocalypse?
So, as a general rule of thumb, I would say that they would be shamblers. But, you know, maximum creepy is that the fucking little kids run at you.
Oh yeah.
Kids
Little
are...
ankle
Yeah.
biters.
Yes. Yep.
Yep. The little, the fresh ones will still be able to get a jog going. But, I mean, the ones that are decaying, I mean, they're going to shamble, right?
Yeah. No, but that is...
I like Carl here.
Carl says...
Why did kamikaze pilots wear crash helmets?
That's a very good question.
That is a good question. I don't know. I mean, is that a question for me or is that
I don't
just
know.
a
It
question?
just
I
came up
think
in the
so.
chat.
Okay.
Just in general.
Okay. Because I mean, I don't feel like a kamikaze pilot isn't someone who, when they took off, they said, "I'm a kamikaze pilot." They became a kamikaze pilot when they saw where the Jews were hiding. Then that's
Okay.
when, yeah.
So yeah, they were hoping that it wouldn't come to that.
I always just
And-
assumed
and-
that they-
Wait, who was hoping it wouldn't come to that? The Jews hiding or the kamikaze pilot?
Why
I
not
was,
both?
well, no, I'm going to ignore the last part of that, and just say that they were hoping it wouldn't come to them having to smash into something like, but I'm not going to name any names.
And Crawfish here, our new Twitch fan here.
Oh, Twitch, what's
it makes
up?
me want to bring down my Legos and show them how it's done.
Yes, Twitch, we get some. Okay, so
I like to interact with the Twitch viewers.
Yes. Okay, so Seth Boudreaux wants to know, and I said that in the right.
Boudreaux? Yeah, you don't want to do too fancy.
No, I was
Boudreaux.
being fancy, but that's also the same as Alan. He's like Taco Bell, like you know. So it's you know, but how many children could you fight at the same time? And then also same question, but with Chihuahuas.
Okay, so answer to the first question is God, I want to find out. And second question, actually probably ditto to the
Yeah.
second question.
Yeah.
Chihuahuas don't they're unfit to exist.
Oh my god!
I shouldn't be.
I shouldn't be.
Yeah, Chihuahuas want to die, along with pugs. They don't want to live that life. You're making them suffer.
I'm sorry. I just read. Drew said that blue whale anus can stretch 3 meters, making it the second largest arsehole in the world. Who is first?
Who is the first? Governor Bill Lee right now.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
number one.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. No, really. I can't believe. First of all, talking about people being put to death by our government, give me a break. But then in that fashion, fucking electrocution. What the hell? What century
I'm still envisioning the children fighting. It would come in waves, like you're playing a video game. First, they get 2 or 3, and then you defeat them, and then like 6 or 7, you defeat them.
See, I would
who's the
say,
final
though,
boss?
I think it depends on the mentality of kids too, because everyone always thinks, I can kill a bunch of fucking kids.
Yeah.
But which they'd probably make good politicians. But the thing is that if the kids were basically just enraged, zombie sprinters, then their only goal would just be to wash over you as one, get you on the ground. And I mean, and you think like if they didn't give a fuck about using their teeth and whatever, I mean, you'd probably be ripped to shreds by less than you think.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, if they get you down, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
down
like look at me. Like I'm not a UFC fighter, but if they said I'll pay you $1 million to go in the ring with like Khabib Nurmagomedov, so first of all I'd go in, then tap out instantly and get my $1 million.
Yeah.
If they said no, you have to fight, then I'd be like, I'll bite that fucker's throat.
Yeah, you got 3
I don't
rounds.
give a shit. I've got teeth, motherfucker. They didn't say I had to play by the rules. So I mean, kids have those nasty little biters. I mean, y'all know, y'all are parents.
Yeah, like I got 3 of them, and if they team up on me, I'm like it gets kind of awkward.
Like you think if one of them like literally just ripped out your Achilles with his teeth right now, let's see how well you're gonna fight.
Oh, what is that? that Stephen King movie.
I just want to say, by the way, that like
I don't want to
Mary
fight children. No.
I totally want to fight children. But no, Mary gave me a warning before the show, like you were going to ask some like really hardcore, deep and personal questions.
I said I didn't know.
This has been all a breeze, dude. Fuck kids.
Yeah, good, yay.
Kids deserve it.
But of course, when I say fuck kids, I mean I hate them. When Sherry says fuck kids, she means something
Holy
totally
shit.
Uh-oh, Sherry's here. Oh, no.
All right, calm down, Prophet.
By the way, in the South, we call that bothering kids. Sherry bothering kids.
I was like, you're not about to go pee again, are you, Dave? Shit, don't leave me here right now. So, okay, something I wanted to ask was, okay,
So,
but
yeah,
no.
Ryan says, I bet a half dozen 8-year-olds could take down McGregor.
If one 8-year-old has a good takedown, McGregor's done. What a
Yeah.
puss.
Yeah.
They start digging in.
Okay, so the death penalty.
Crawfish, if you're enjoying what you're watching, calm down,
your
or I'm
thoughts.
gonna ban you, bro.
Yeah. Your thoughts on the death penalty across the board? People seem to have a spot for even the people who are pro-life, no abortions, no death penalty, but when it comes to pedophiles,
Okay.
where like.
So here's you might remember the last time we talked, I had said that people, by and large, people do not have principles. And I still say that, and I still stand by that. People, by and large, do not have principles. People who try to pick and choose where they fall on issues as they come, it's because those people don't have any principles, so they have to actually think hard about what they think about every little thing that comes up in the press. So first of all, if you're against killing people, then you're against killing people, and there's no qualifications to that. And second of all, you also have to define, like when you say pedophiles, are you talking about someone who has actually abused a child, or are you just saying someone who has a mental deficiency that makes them want children? Because, surprise, surprise, there are people in this world who have problems, but not all the people with problems act on those impulses. And if you say you're going to okay, so this is government 101 all over, state 101 all over again. Okay, so everyone has to take a test to see whether or not you may or may not do something. And if you think they might, we're going to kill them. You guys can fucking go kill yourselves.
Euthanasia.
Does that answer that question?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't say that anymore on the show.
I know.
So go to euthanasia.com.
Say the other one too. Say it. Just say it. 'Cause
What?
You don't...
Say it. What other? Oh, dick shitters?
Oh,
yeah.
Say it again, because I said it over you. Say it.
Oh, yeah, dick shitters.
Yeah. I love it.
If you think that you can find people who have problems, even though they haven't actually committed a crime yet, because you think that they're abhorrent, then you are a dick shitter.
Okay. So now what about those who have? That's the thing. And that's what I think a lot of people are saying, is not the ones who could or maybe might, or we have to look at, because that's crossing a line. But the ones who have done the unthinkable to children.
Okay, so what I would say to make this really easy is, The only reason why you would use pedophilia as opposed to just murder or rape of any kind or whatever is that you're trying to play on heartstrings. So just erase that word with any other word. Like in my mind, murder is worse than raping a kid and not murdering them. I think raping someone who is 18 is just as bad as raping someone who is 12. So I mean, I'm not differentiating there. So if you're talking about a rapist or a murderer or whatever, I've made the comments before. So I very, very much believe in restitution and not punishment. Now, that doesn't mean that people should not be punished they shouldn't face consequences for their actions. I'm not saying that no one would ever be punished, no one would ever be imprisoned or whatever. But I very, very much believe in restitution because so when the state locks up Nick Sutton for 32 years and then fries him because of something he did in 1985 or whatever, and that's the end of the story. Even if you believed he got what he deserved, if that's the end of the story, then no one benefited other than being able to go home and sleep easy at night knowing that Nick Sutton is dead. That's all you got. Whereas I understand that there are really horrible crimes that one can commit, and to even suggest that you could put a price tag on something makes it go away sounds shallow and insensitive. But we also live in a world of reality, and I do genuinely believe in having civil court where someone, in the same way that someone can break your window and you can say, well, you can either put them in prison or they can pay for your window plus 10%. I think if you were never going to see the guy ever again, you just take the new window plus $50 as opposed to saying, no, you go to jail. That's so stupid. That's typical American. That's so stupid that people think he broke a window, he should go to jail.
I want him to suffer.
Okay. Yeah, I want it exactly. A lot of people have this attitude of I want people to suffer. Mm-hmm. And what's funny about this too, and I actually get this a lot, especially amongst my friends, is that I am an atheist. I am not a believer. And yet I'm the fucking one over here saying that I don't want people to suffer, and I don't believe in torture and punishment, and I believe in restitution and forgiveness. Like, where are y'all? Where are the Christians at up in this bitch?
And they're the ones saying they should suffer. Now, okay, so like...
I would rather someone who commits a crime, no matter how heinous that crime is, to have to figure out a way to make amends to that individual and or by proxy that individual's family. And you can say, well, maybe there's no amount of money or debt or indentured servitude you can put on you hurt my child or you killed my son or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see wanting somebody to just suffer. I can see it.
I can totally see it, but I feel like that's you're just going to continue to perpetuate a system where you're going to have pins and you're going to throw them in them, and we're all going to, as a community, pay to have them locked up and pretend that they're supposed to be receiving some sort of correction, but you know that that's a fraud because you don't ever want to see them out. But while that is true, and while it would be so easy for me to say, oh, someone hurt Anna Kay tonight, I'm mad right now. Yeah. How many times, on the other hand, do you hear stories of people, all the families of Nick Sutton's victims here 32 years later saying, we don't want that for him.
Yeah, and nobody wanted to hear that.
Nobody wants to hear that.
Who no one wanted to hear. She was a big proponent of Hannah Cox getting rid of the death penalty. And she's like, when the victim's family is like, I don't think he should die for this. Yeah. That isn't going to help anybody. Mm-hmm. Nobody wanted to hear that.
So people know that I'm a really huge Game of Thrones fan, and I don't mean like the TV show fucked out there in the last couple of seasons. I've read the book series like 3 times and all the other compendiums and all that stuff. I'm a big nerd when it comes to Song of Ice and Fire, and so one of my favorite quotes ever from the show is very first book or very first season. If you were a watcher, they make Bran watch an execution. And Ned, which of course is kind of child abuse, but anyway, he says, do you know why I did it? And he says, well, because he was a deserter, he was a bad man. He said, do you know why it had to be me? And he said, the man who passes the sentence should swing the sword. Yeah. I think people who are wronged may want to do that, but I think a lot of people who are wronged, if told, if we pass this sentence, here's the switch, buddy, you throw the chair on Nick Sutton. As we literally see with real life examples, a lot of people are saying, I don't think I can do that. And God forbid you be a human being.
I'm looking at a lot of the comments and listening to what you're saying.
Timothy's? Because he honed in on being an atheist.
Yeah.
Are humans special and deserve different rights than animals?
And if so,
Are
why?
humans special and deserve different rights than animals? Yes. And so why? So I would be, if you're going to talk about like the hardcore libertarian private property rights things, I would say that so your animals are your property and you can do with them what you want. In the same way that, you know, you can be a racist and shout the N-word from the top of your lungs. I don't think I have any right to say you can't, but I would absolutely cut you out of my fucking life and not associate with you. And I wouldn't associate with someone who was beating their dogs and training them to fight in, you know, like dog fighting and stuff like that. Like I wouldn't associate with that person. I know I would scream from the look talk, get a load of this fag beating his dogs and training them to fight. I would totally do that. So yeah.
So what's the next one? Because I saw another one.
I was going to say, if we're planning on making this a podcast, how is our language going to affect our distribution?
It doesn't matter because we're doing the thing. Yeah. Okay.
This episode's fucked. It's over.
Oh, I can't do this.
We're fucked.
I've been recording this for the first time.
I'm pretty sure I said, "Oh fuck, shit, oh fuck."
Yeah.
When I found out that guy died.
Yeah.
When I found out that I'm holding Dave's hand. When I found out that last night I saw the articles on Reason and I was just like, oh, he's still alive. And then now to find out that he's
you didn't get
gone,
up in the morning and see
but
all
he's
the posts.
fucking gone. Yeah.
And you know, his story is actually really similar to Nick Sutton in the sense that no one said that Nick Sutton was like wrongly accused or wrongly convicted. No, he murdered some people when he was an 18-year-old.
Sure.
Like he did that.
Yeah.
It's not, he never said he didn't do it. It's open and shut case. The point being is that there's a lot more. There's a lot. I mean, well, they kept him in prison for 32 years, so there's a lot more to the story. There's 32 years more to the story than just that. And same thing with the guy down in Alabama is that I know that they were saying, well, you know, he was an accomplice. You know, he potentially led to the deaths of some officers because of the people that he was working with or whatever.
Potentially.
But I mean,
that's what I was saying.
potentially.
I was thinking it's like he's not innocent. Maybe of this particular crime, this particular conviction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of this
I don't know.
moment,
I tell people on a very deep personal level, like, look, if somebody hurt a friend or family member of yours and you wanted righteous retribution, you wanted to kill them, then I would not stop you. I don't feel like it would be my place to put a gun to your head and say, no, don't go do that. But I genuinely believe, and I think that there's evidence to show that if you gave it a little bit of time, you might find that you couldn't pull the trigger after all.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, call me naive, but I tend to think that most people who are not sociopathic piece of shits could not do it if they were given the choice. They might think it, but they couldn't do it. And if you're going to talk about the philosophical / legal, is that of course government can only have powers that are enumerated to it by the sovereign. The sovereign in the American system is the people, and people do not have the right to kill other people except for in self-defense. Therefore, you could not have possibly delegated the right to kill people to the government.
Yep.
So let me ask you, well, Sherry says it doesn't matter if someone is innocent or not. They go through the process, and you know, it's like, oh, it is what it is. People are happy with just results. Like, okay, this is done, so fine.
Yeah.
But I like, okay, so I mean, as far as the guy in Tennessee, I mean, he was up against someone who said in prison, but it could happen in real life. You know, someone they have a gun to your head and you have a gun to their head. Who's going to pull the trigger first? You know, like it's survival, you know, like so would you be like, okay, like pulling the trigger. Like,
well, yeah, I mean
if
that's
someone's standing in your home and you're standing there, like, I will shoot you if you walk a step closer. You know.
Yeah, I mean, of course, that's self-defense.
Yeah.
That's totally different thing. But I mean, that's why they have different degrees of murder when you're in court, is that there's a difference. Because if you're talking about, I'm going to track down this guy in 2 years from now, and I'm going to blow his brains out. That's premeditated murder, my friend. Like, call it what it is. You can call it vengeance if you want, but it's premeditated murder. So. And for the people who say that, oh, I would totally do it if that guy hurt me or mine, I'd totally do it. Is that, like, you know, this is like Kill Bill all over again. You know the scene in Kill Bill where she kills Vivica A. Fox, and then Vivica A. Fox's daughter, turned out she saw it. She saw her mom just get killed by this woman. Now, Beatrix Kiddo may have had perfectly legitimate, or in her own mind, legitimate reasons to do what she did. But all that daughter knows is some crazy white lady I've never met before came in here and killed my mom. And she says to the little girl, if you grow up and this rubs you the wrong way, I'll be watching for you. And so is that what you want? So when you kill the guy who hurt your kid and their kid comes to kill you or kill another one of your kids, now who's to blame for the next one? Who's to blame for the one after that? Yeah. Who's to blame for the one after that?
You got the Hatfields and McCoys now.
Right.
Yep.
So we don't do a ton of commercial breaks, but I have to pee, but I'm going to leave with this question so that you and Dave can talk and also interact with the audience.
Or we could kind of wrap it up.
No, because I have to pee really bad. I'm sorry.
It's your show now, Alan. I'm your guest.
Okay.
I am curious about your thoughts and opinions on, and I hate to just say like aliens, but like life outside of Earth.
Wow. Okay.
In the universe, because it's big. It's a big universe.
So let me do like the guy on the History Channel. Get off.
Oh my gosh! Wow. When that comes forward, that's pretty wild.
I was trying to poof my hair out like the dude, you know, who's like the aliens guy.
That was amazing when you brought it forward.
Yeah. I mean, imagine if my hair was straight. It'd be. I wouldn't be able to see. So. Yeah, I don't even know what are we talking about anymore. This got really dark.
We're talking about aliens. Is there life outside of this planet? Is there? I
mean,
intelligent.
I mean, hypothetically, I mean, it is certainly possible.
Yeah.
I mean, it would just be ignorant of me to say I certainly yes or no, do or do not know. But I mean, it is absolutely possible. I mean, being the way I believe, I obviously don't think that the Earth is super special and that we were totes put here by God and no one else exists. I don't believe that. So yes, there could be other life, but I put no thought into it.
Well, I'll tell you what, as a Christian, I kind of believe that maybe God has other things going on that ain't in our book. He might have other, programs that he's run that don't involve us.
So you're going to hell then? That's what you're saying?
No, I'm very.
What do you think about the Da Vinci Code books and all that shit about like the Catholic Church having all sorts of secret fucking tomes and stuff downstairs and all sorts of things that you haven't read? And
I read I think the first book, and I'm not Catholic, so I'm not into like the ritual of. I'm more of a spiritual Christian. It's just like I feel like just be good to each other, be nice to each other. This is how we should treat each other.
Yeah,
but
only kill them if they're super duper bad.
Yeah.
And,
But I do have a lot of issues where it's like, because I was brought up like a fundamental Baptist where the Bible was the inerrant voice of God, but it's been through so many hands. So many books have been burned. So many have been hidden. It's been handpicked. And so it's like I have to because I'm refused to let go of my faith. So I kind of decided that's the way it was supposed to be. This is the way it was supposed to run. Things were supposed to be taken away, not but we got
So-
pretty much this message.
Yeah. So I mean, so listen, I'm from Tennessee, and we got Church of Christ around here, my friend. You want to talk about this is
Fire
when
and
you think of like
brimstone.
the hardcore Christian conservative your mom told you to watch out for. They're down here in the Church of Christ.
Oh yeah, we're a minority even in the area. It's the fire and brimstone. Just
Yeah. And you know, but a lot of them who I grew up around that are good friends of mine that are very smart people, they would tell you that while obviously they read the Bible, obviously they believe in it and they can quote scripture and all that, but they don't base all of their philosophical arguments around the Bible for very much that same reason. Like they're not going to risk their entire relationship with God and their faith on someone's interpretation of that book. Now, not that they don't borrow from it heavily and use it.
yeah.
But somebody's eating pizza. God damn it!
No, it's her keto pizza that she made.
Yeah.
Don't lie to yourself.
No, she made the crust out of cheese and egg, and
Cream cheese, fucking
And,
cream cheese.
and
Almond flour.
But I really like this because like even I get down to like the concept of time. You know, it's like where people argue that the world is like 3,000, 2,000 years old, but our concept of time is open to interpretation of how long a day is.
Smart time.
And I like to include like the Big Bang and everything like that. And it's like, how do you think this was all created? Obviously, it came from nothing and it expanded into something. And as time flowed, you know, time moved faster and all this kind of stuff. It's like, I like to bring in like quantum physics into religion. And
So,
I
like,
meld them.
I very rarely discuss or debate that with anybody, even in like small private gatherings, for two reasons. One, there's so much shit to deal with here and now that why would I even bother with that? And two, have you ever been in a private group? Like, I'll give you a little pet peeve of mine since we're all friends here. Since we're all friends here, and this episode won't go out to anybody.
Probably not.
Like, no, like one of my biggest pet peeves is if you're in a private group. Say, for instance, maybe the Tom Woods elite group.
I'm
I'm just using that.
How
as
am I
an
not in that
example.
group?
What is it?
There's a Tom Woods elite group.
But so like it always kills me when people in that group, like somebody will post some article or quote by, say, Paul Krugman, and they'll say, "God, what an idiot." And I'm like, and I look them up on Facebook. No, Mr. Cashier at Kmart.
Yeah.
Paul Krugman's not an idiot. Now, he most certainly thinks things I don't think.
Yeah,
We most certainly have very serious difference of opinions on economic schools. But to say that the Nobel Prize winner in economics is an idiot while you're fucking collecting the carts out in front of Home Depot, I'm sorry, no. You lose all credibility when you call people idiots that are clearly very educated, very informed individuals who maybe on a very foundational level think differently than you, but they're not idiots. I mentioned Jeffrey Tucker earlier. I know a lot of people don't like Tucker. A lot of people who are big into the Mises camp don't like Tucker because there was some drama there. But people will be like, "Oh, Tucker tweeted this. God, what an idiot!" And I'm like, "No, you dumb fuck. He's not an idiot. I may even agree that he's wrong on this thing he said.
Yeah.
He's not an idiot. He's just not. I know that there's going to be people in chat be like, appeal to authority. Well, no, yeah, when someone has a doctorate and you don't, yeah, dumbass. Just because you can call something a logical fallacy doesn't mean it's not true. It just might not mean that is the logical way of explaining it. So, but as a general rule of thumb, yeah, if someone has a doctorate or a Nobel Prize, I mean, even if I disagree with them, I'm not going to call them stupid. I'm not going to call them an idiot. That's just categorically not the way to describe your difference of opinion.
That's childish, is what that is. It's just call.
And that happens a
names.
lot. That happens a lot in any community, and unfortunately, that happens a lot in the liberty community. I mean,
It does.
it's libertarians are like Willie on The Simpsons would say, we're Scottish. Libertarians hate statists, and
That's my
libertarians hate
favorite meme.
Republicans, and libertarians hate libertarians.
You just earned an enemy for life.
Yes, I know. I love Groundskeeper Willie is one of my favorite characters from the old Simpsons. But so not only do people like to argue with each other all the time, but so we agree on some things, but this guy said, "Oh, but I think whatever. I think the Fed is bad, but instead of abolishing it, we should do this." and people will say, "No, you fucking idiot! We got to end the
get rid of it."
No, he's not a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
He may be wrong.
Yeah.
He's not a fucking idiot.
No. He's just running on a different. You know, he's running on a different tracks than you.
But also, I think Seth said it best. Like, I think any ad hominem loses credibility. If you have a point, make it. Otherwise, you're just talking shit.
Yeah.
Like, so do it. Say your stuff without calling people names.
It's also a thing too about some people who do any type of academic writing. If you like, I mean, obviously Tucker's published a number of books. Obviously, a lot of people from Mises have. Obviously, Tom Woods has published a lot of books. I've had a number of articles published. I've been on Mises and Fee, and I've been picked up by Zero Hedge, and I've been on various other websites.
That's amazing.
So I mean. And a lot of people. So no one knows I write articles. No one knows that I play music. No one knows anything about me. Apparently, I'm a shitty marketer all the way around.
I know that about you, Alan.
But the point being is that I was told, like, one of the editors over at Fee told me, like, on day one of my articles was kind of going viral one time, and he said, "Alan, here's what you do. Don't read the comments." No. There's two reasons. The first reason, obviously, is dumbasses get in the comments and say dumb things. Everyone knows that.
Especially
but the second reason is that if you read them, you're going to feel tempted to respond, but you already responded. Your response is the article. Yeah. That was your response.
Oh,
if you disagree with some article or some book someone wrote, okay, you go write a response. You go write a fucking economic treatise to respond to their arguments. Otherwise, go to euthanasia.com.
No, I'm gonna put 14 words in this little box, and it's gonna totally shut down your whole article.
That's great.
My most viral thing I ever wrote was about the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and I was a history major. I have a history degree, and so it was a very academic article from a history perspective, cited all sorts of different letters, correspondence of all these different generals, all these different people in the State Department who were saying we shouldn't do this, it's not necessary, the Japanese already surrender, on top of the fact of, oh, by the way, these are really more civilian targets. I don't think this is this is not the power you want to project in the world. I don't think this is what we want America to be. And so that's what my article was about, followed with, let's not try so hard to excuse mass murder. Yeah. And boy, I got so many comments and fucking death threats and all sorts of shit from people like, we'd all be speaking Japanese if it were up to cucks like you, and they were going to invade and all this other horse shit. And I was like, good Lord, man. Like, euthanasia.com for sure.
They just wanted their resources back. It's
and so the point being, so John Miltimore over at Fee, so his point being is like, so you just wrote like 1,700 words that we felt were good enough to publish that made your point. So when they tried to refute you with wrong, the little Trump thing,
wrong. I was supposed to get that and I didn't do it.
Yeah. So first of all, that's not a rebuttal. Yeah. So first of all, that's not a rebuttal, and second of all, if they want to rebut you, then they should propose an article to our editorial committee, and we may or may not publish it. Otherwise, euthanasia.com.
I love that. So, did you do it though? Like, did you follow through with not reading the comments on things? Because
so I saw some of the comments. Well, it was one of those things where I woke up one morning and Mike Meharry, my good friend and co-host and network partner, like there was a text waiting on me when I woke up. He's a super early riser. There was a text waiting on me when I woke up in the morning that was like, "Hey man, your article's on Zero Hedge." And I was like, "What?" And so I was like, "Oh shit," and Lou Rockwell had published it and all this other stuff. And so I clicked on it and you can see, like, in the little tab, oh, this has been read by 137,000 people or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
And so I was like, I had never had one like that before. So I was like, okay, maybe if it's being read that much, it means, and everyone's publishing it, it means it's good. And so I click on, and yes, like the top 200 comments are, "This libtard cuck, we'd all be speaking Japanese, and he should be thanking the troops," and all this other horse shit. And I was like, it's actually amazing to me that I can put out a show that damn near looks like network TV, and between between Facebook throttling and no one giving a fuck, I can struggle to 1,000 views a week. But I write an article that everyone hates apparently, and it gets 100,000. I should just do more shit all the mainstream people hate.
That's what
just say, listen, conservatives, this is what I think. That'll get me more views.
Yeah. That misery loves company kind of thing, you know, where they're like, oh yeah, put it out there. Let's like get everybody riled up and fired up and angry, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there were plenty of people that came to cheer me up, like Michael Bolton from the 10th Amendment Center. You know, he had told me like that's how you know this was the best thing you did. Like that's how you know. Right. Everyone's really pissed off
because you got a bunch of angry people in your emails.
Yeah.
Now, did you get emails? Like, were they messaging you at all? Like, I mean,
yeah. So yeah, if they publish you on a variety of those sites, they'll have your little bio. Contact, like, obviously, I don't work for Fee, but you'll have your little link where they see like, oh, Alan Mosley is so and so, and you can reach him at such. And so, yeah, man, these fucking 60, 70, 80-year-old boomers who are so thankful that we nuked 100,000 innocent Japanese made sure to let me know that, by God, we'll fry them again, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it, son.
Wow.
And I was like, all right, well, thank you for your service. I don't know.
God bless. Carry on.
We'll do it over again. Wow. So do you feel like as things progress, I mean, as far like years go by, there's going to be hopefully more and more like libertarian anarchist type kids, you know? I mean, we're raising our children this way. Mm-hmm. Other people are raising their children this way. So do you feel that maybe in the years to come it will be better? I mean, do you ever? No. Okay.
No, that's and that's ridiculous on its face to even think. There will your first question was, will there be more? Well, since the population tends to increase, there will technically be more. As a percentage of the population, of course there's not. Liberty is not a primary political virtue of the overwhelming majority of human beings on it. And it never will be.
Why?
It never will be. Because people need to be ruled.
Why?
Because people need to be ruled. Like everyone's talking today about Brian Williams and Chick from New York Times talking in all the tweets about how if Bloomberg had just given his money away, everyone would have had $1 million because they think 500. Yeah, that's right. You've seen all that shit. Like those people are desperately need to be told what to do.
Everybody gets $2.
Yeah.
And
I could do that math right now.
When they have come to that determination that I need rulers, I need to be told what to do and how to do it, then when someone like you comes along and you're upsetting the status quo, look, most people are perfectly fine with the status quo. Like all the most of the stuff we've talked about tonight, like that doesn't even register on anyone's Richter scales. They're perfectly happy with the establishment. I had tweeted out just recently, so like your typical angry lawbritarian was saying, oh, I can't believe how the world is. Look at all this. And how can they do this? I was like, look, dude. So first of all, most people are perfectly happy with the way the world works. And second of all, most people would love to join that political class where they could rub elbows with those people. Yeah. So if they want to rub elbows with those people, then yeah, they're bravo to the establishment. If anything, the unknown is scary and different and weird. So you are way more dangerous to them than the government is. Yes. Because they're not going to make any waves, guys. The government's not a threat to them because they're not going to cause any problems.
Yeah. They're gonna cause, but we're the people, they're accepting of them. Well, they're gonna put a pause on, what is it, Social Security? It was like a couple years
anytime
ago.
That happens.
Like, and my parents are like we paid into this, and I'm like, and look at how they're just like acting like it's their money, and they're not giving it back to you. Like that's bullshit, you know. Like trying to talk to my 70-year-old parents, but.
By the way, I just wanted to answer really quick. Somebody had asked in the chat, why is Caitlyn Bennett so popular?
Oh yeah.
So first of all, if you're even asking that, you're just being naive. Come on, man. She's popular because she wears tight jean shorts.
Yeah.
Like fucking
number one.
Say what it is. Like a bunch of y'all neckbeards who have never been with a woman would gladly shut her up
But no, I think
a few of us who have been with women.
I think it might have been Seth saying that that is
it's
why
the controversy.
she
panders to the right,
famous
and
because,
she's also causing a lot of
because-
controversy. And, she gets a
And
lot
when
of
she
negative.
goes places, there's just a commotion.
Even bad press is good press.
Bad news. Still news,
And also,
you know.
And also, too, at the end of the day, she's a public figure. A lot of people know who she is, and so she's popular. And I mean, you know, broken clocks and all that. So she can say one thing that is just philosophically, ethically, morally, objectively true, and people will latch onto that. I mean, these are the same people who they like Ben Shapiro because he owns the Nebs. Ben Shapiro is a fucking piece of shit, and you're a goddamn idiot if you think otherwise. You quote me on that everywhere. If you like Ben Shapiro, unfollow me. Go fucking kill yourself.
Go to
These are the worst
euthanasia.com.
human beings that live on the face of this planet. I don't care that he said something snarky to some girl at a community college. He's a piece of shit.
You have some feels.
We got to follow some more stuff. We got to watch more stuff. I'm getting better. I'm watching the news. I'm keeping up with stuff now. It's like it's going to take a minute for me to get back into stuff that's been going on.
So what do you follow? Because I don't watch news shows. I try not to go to new, like, we don't get the paper. I don't want to know. I turn the news off. I used to watch it religiously. They're like, oh, we're going to do a 5:00 show and then a 5:30 show and then a 6:00 show. And then you can have your 6:30 at the, your national news. So, but I can't, I stopped.
Our scene here.
I stopped doing that. So tell me, what is happening? What?
Ryan.
I told you earlier that Ryan replaced Celeste and Lau, right?
Yes, yes, I know. Yes.
Ryan comes up with some shit.
Don't ever click on anything Ryan if he puts
puts links up.
He puts links up. Don't ever click on them. But okay, so where do you get your news and how do you siphon through that? Because my mind can't do that.
She can't crush.
I can't. I don't have a mind vault.
Yeah. So I generally try to keep a finger on the pulse. I mean, if anything, because I try to do a show, so I try to do topical stuff. I mean, when we first started doing the show, it's like, okay, what's the show about? And less about being what the show was about. It was going to be, well, we're going to do current events because, I mean, look, it's just the easiest type of show to do because the world never stops giving you things to talk about. So if you do a current event show, you can never run out. So I mean, I generally keep up with things. I don't like social media, but Twitter, I connect with more people on Facebook. But Twitter, in my opinion, because of trending, because of hashtags, you can just generally see what's in the public consciousness on a fairly regular basis, So I do that. I mean, I keep up with the news, but I don't keep up with the news because I need them to tell me how to think. I just want to know what they're talking about. That's all I'm doing. I'm like, well, what are they talking about today?
Yeah.
And
I used to be like that because I was a statist and I was like, good morning, America. Woo! Turn it on. 7:00, top news stories. Oh yeah. What are they and then go to the news desk and then come back and and then it would get lighthearted around 7:45 and then around 8:15, but I would watch that shit. Oh my gosh. And people do that. That's part of their day. And I was just like, that was, made me, I'm angry.
Well, I'll tell you one other thing, though, is that it's really important for people, and I say this to people in our little neck of the woods all the time, is that it's really important to get out of your bubble because people, I'll see random threads or whatever of people saying, Tulsi, Tulsi, I saw this on this very show before I connected. People were saying, what about Tulsi versus Trump? Tulsi could win. Are you a fucking idiot? If the DNC had everyone drop out and just gave her the nomination today, she would lose with 17% in the general to Trump's 83. You're a goddamn idiot if you think otherwise. Yeah. People don't care about what she's saying. People don't. There are more people that want to turn Afghanistan into glass than there are people that think we shouldn't be there. Yeah. Get out of your bubble, people. Liberty is not a primary political virtue. Get over it. This is why I preach all the time. I want you to live the best life you can live. I want you to take care of your family. I want you to make your community around you the best it can be, because you have no fucking hope to take that shit on. The best hope you have is if you're a collapsitarian and you hope the whole thing falls in on itself, because you ain't going to do it. You're not.
Yeah. So you are for just being the, I mean, I know the liberty movement.
We talked about this.
There's no such thing. There's no such thing as a liberty movement.
And you're saying just be a good person, like be a good like live good, like be nice to the people next to you,
do what
help
you
them,
can do.
care.
Isn't that
about...
what Carlin said at the end of Bill and Ted's? Just
oh yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Be excellent to each other.
Be excellent.
Yeah,
to
be
each
excellent
other.
to each other. Yeah, it's like it's so important that people. By the way, who's leaving that long ass comment right there?
Scott.
That's Scott Peterson. I love Scott. Yes.
I don't know.
Oh, he's saying goodnight to Nick because he's cleaning up puke from his kids and stuff, and then saying goodnight to Sherry and everything. So yeah, it's all good.
I don't know. He looks like a loser neckbeard to me.
Oh wait, no, but he did say that you can.
Well, he's actually copying and pasting that because he's hoping so desperately. Look at me, guys.
Right.
I know stuff.
Oh, no, I love
So
Scott.
how much do they make you keep in your till at Kmart? That's a good question for him. But anyway, look, here's the thing that I try to. People get so butthurt when I say there's no such thing as a liberty movement. You're not going to win. Yada yada yada. People get so butthurt about that. So first of all, you're butthurt because there's a lot of libertarians. I mean, or the ones who think they are. There's a lot of libertarians who are as desperate for a leader as the rest of them, and that bothers me because these are the people that. I mean, it's one thing to support a candidate, defensive voting, all that stuff. Look, I don't vote. I never will. I don't support any political candidate under any circumstances. But if people do, I don't. Like I've had people say, hey, will you have this candidate on? Hey, will you talk about that or whatever? And I usually say, look, man, that's not my bag. I'm not going to denounce them on the show or anything, but I'm also not endorsing anyone. Just keep it away. I'm not going to have the different LP candidates on and all that stuff. But the thing is that, like, what are you doing? Are you trying to spread the message or are you trying to win the offices? If you're trying to win the offices, you just go join the GOP or the DNC. That's what you would do. If you were trying to win, you would go join one of the major political parties. So it's either message or strategy. And I'm not even judging. I'm just saying, you tell me, which one are you about? Are you about the message or are you about the strategy? If you're about the strategy of winning, abolish the LP, go join one of the major parties, see what you can get done. That's what Ron Paul did. He never won the presidency. He was in Congress for an awful long goddamn time. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I feel like that's strategically a more serious chance to infect some type of change.
Sure, yeah.
But if it's the message, okay, great. If it's just you want to spread the message and you've got some money and you've got some backers and you want to fight to get on the debate stages, you want to get on the ballots, you want to do whatever, that's great too. But a lot of the people that I see that are trying to get involved in politics, they're trying to have their cake and eat it too, in a world where I like how asleep do you have to be to see you're never going to win? Like, you're not going to win. Like, best case scenario, like if you really want to have a really deep political conversation, like everyone's talking about, like the DNC is a little bit fractured right now. You got the whole Bernie Biden thing, social progressive socialist Democrats versus kind of old school establishment. And then, everyone's jumping on, laughing at the Democrats right now. Guys, best case scenario is Trump's got 4 more years. And when he leaves, there's going to be a smoking crater where the GOP used to be. And all the Trumpian Republicans who think that they're snarky are going to be going up against the old school neocons. And they're going to have their little civil war too. Best case scenario, those big parties break into factions. And then maybe some type of independent can win a seat here or there. And if they can, good for them. But it's still, the only people that I would even give any time of day to are the most unapologetically hardcore libertarians. I don't mean any of this. Well, look, guys, if we talk too much about the drug war, they won't like us. So let's just talk about lowering the income tax 2%. No, you're missing it. You're totally missing it. Like, go up there and go the whole hog, or don't do it at all. So again, it's either strategy, and if it's strategy, go join a political party that's relevant. Or it's message. If it's message, don't give a shit about the vote tallies. Just go out there and talk the real shit.
Yeah. Then go out there and talk the real shit. Yes.
I used to, the only big L libertarian person I've ever even discussed on my show was Harry Brown. A lot of the people who are around LP circles today, they don't even know who Harry Brown is because they've only been around the last.
I've heard of him.
So
yeah, I don't know.
So Harry Brown was probably the best candidate, in my opinion, that the LP ever had. I mean, he was a guy who was independently successful, very well spoken, really great on all the issues. He was able to go out and get for his time, he was able to get a pretty fair amount of press, had a lot of interviews. Harry Brown knew he wasn't ever going to win any elections, so that's why he didn't pull any punches. He wasn't trying to look pretty. He was trying to spread the message. And that's great.
Ron Paul.
That's how I feel about Ron Paul, for me, personally.
And Ron Paul did a good job of that too. However, Ron Paul did do if you want to be technical about it, he did more of the strategy of he was a lifelong Republican. He ran with a conservative base,
and
so that he could get
going for the delegates.
Yeah.
I mean, by that logic alone, he did more than any other libertarian has ever done in the history of this fake movement everyone's on about. All these people running for the LP are guaranteed 100% to never amount to what Ron Paul did. If you want to say that's because Ron Paul spread the message well, then I need to be seeing some hardcore libertarians and not any pussyfooting around. If you want to say it's because he actually got into Congress and voted no all the time, then they need to go join the GOP and run in some district where they can win.
Yeah.
Oh, Scott says that I have a vote for, let me see, where is it? Harry Brown for President t-shirt. Oh, but Alan wants to insult me. I don't think he wants to insult you, Scott. No.
You have to apologize to Scott. He's your friend.
Actually, I don't.
You have to, Alan.
Scott's awesome. And you're awesome too. But yeah, I know that Scott. He sent us a video for Dadman's birthday thing, and it said Harry Brown. He was in his Harry Brown for President T-shirt. Yeah.
I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
Yep. I would say the overwhelming majority of people and candidates and LP activists and party folks and people on the committee and all that stuff, they're not Harry Brown people, which, I mean, politics moves pretty fast. I mean, Harry Brown's been dead now for 15 years or something. So, I mean, he hasn't been around for a while, but the LP as it has been over the last several years is not the party of Harry Brown. It has changed a lot. But I don't even get into all that. I don't even get into all the little politicking and civil wars amongst the LP, because I mean, I have told people many times, if I ran for LP chair, my entire platform would be to abolish the Libertarian Party. that would be all I would run.
That's a hard platform to.
So you're just saying.
Drew Simmons says Mosley 2024.
Are you feeling like the Libertarian Party is just becoming one of the other parties, and so this is?
No, it'll never become one of the other parties.
I mean, but they're trying. Are they trying?
I mean, I know that there are people that really want it to. I know that they're. So I have made the comment before. Political parties only have one purpose, and that's to promote political candidates. And I don't support politicians, period, full stop. So since political parties are only meant to promote politicians, and I don't support politicians, I cannot support a political party. That's the end of the story. I mean, you think we're talking about libertarians. Talk about some of the people that have dropped out of the Democratic primary. So you think of your Warrens, think of your Buttigiegs and soon to be Bernie.
Because
Buttigieg. Oh my gosh, they're just gonna make Biden go up against Trump, and it's gonna be ridiculous. The memes are gonna be amazing.
The reason I bring that up is think about the people who they were the true believers, right? Think about the people that phone called for him. Think about the people that gave him money. People don't have any money. Americans are all in debt. People ain't got no money.
Yeah.
So somebody's got 3 maxed out credit cards, sent $50 to Pete Buttigieg. And I feel bad for the guy. I really do. I don't feel bad for Pete Buttigieg. I feel bad for the guy.
He needs to get on Dave Ramsey.
Literally anything else he could have done with his money would have been better. But
Put
you
it
know
up
what?
when you're dead,
That applies to anyone that's giving any money to any LP candidates. Same thing. You shouldn't have given any of those guys any money. Absolutely not.
To any
You
of
wasted your
the
money.
political.
Let the big money
If you-
people do that.
If you gave money to Arvin Vora or Adam Kokesh or whatever because you wanted them to be president of the United States, you absolutely categorically wasted your money.
Mine is right.
Yeah,
Timothy,
I mean,
Timothy,
you
mine is right.
Sorry,
You-
we're looking
you-
at the drink counter right now. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. No, Sean actually says he sent $50 to me.
I think he's lying. Let me have one of your drinks.
Oh, I mean, I'm pretty sure he is, but I'm serious though. I'm not even like I'm not making fun. I'm not joking.
no.
I'm like
Yeah,
they
no,
gave
right.
their money to people when they could have used it in any other better way.
Yeah.
And that's why I wish I could get a hold of these people before they wrote the check or put in their card on the Pete 2020 website and been
Oh.
like, dude, like if you're not going to use that money for you and yours, like just go out on the street and just give somebody $50. Like just
Give it to
fuck
some.
it.
Yeah,
just go,
exactly.
Just go down to Kroger and buy somebody's groceries. Like you will have done more for the world than that person will ever do. And that's even if they win. And then when they drop out because they can't possibly lose, now you really look stupid.
Now you really lose, loser.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I exhaled and.
I think the
straight to
last time I gave money to an actual politician was Ron Paul.
Yeah.
I was on the money bomb screen. I screenshotted it.
Yeah. And I mean, as far as people go, Ron Paul did as well as anyone has ever done that wasn't just a purebred establishment candidate.
Thanks, Anthony.
But
Yeah.
he wasn't going to be the president of the United
no.
States.
And if he was,
But he-
I was
but he-
so afraid he was just going to get himself killed. I'm like, if you
Yeah.
actually do this, you are a dead man. You're campaigning for your own assassination.
Yes.
Oh, of course, absolutely. But he was in Congress for a long time, and I mean, you think of like a Thomas Massey who's out there, and
I like him.
I'd actually said this just the other night. I was in a roundtable with Philip Kennedy of Kennedy Financial. He hosted a
I saw
roundtable
that.
on War and Dead with me, Scott Horton, and Michael Bolden.
That's awesome.
And my final comment was, I just want to point out, did you guys hear about that whole Emmett Till anti-lynching bill that just
Okay.
passed Congress recently?
And
It was
you covered that on your show, I think, right?
It made lynching a federal hate crime, and I had said, so just for one, like murder's already illegal,
Yeah.
so now we're gonna make that super illegal.
Super
Super
duper.
murder.
I mean, it's super duper murder. So I mean,
It's
just on its
super.
face, it's still.
Yeah.
But not only is it silly, but the power to police lynching and make it a hate crime is not delegated to the federal government in Article 1, Section 8 of the U.S. Constitution. Therefore, it is unconstitutional. So only 4 people voted against it because, I mean, this is virtue signaling of the highest order. So even
Yeah.
if you didn't like it, you voted for it because you don't want to lose office, right? 4 people voted against it. 2 of them were Justin Amash and Thomas Massey. What did
Love
they
those
get
guys.
for it? What did they get for it?
They get hate.
What they got for it was literally hundreds of thousands of people on Twitter saying, "Who are these fucking racists? Get them out of office."
Wow.
So what
That's...
this means is that people don't, for one, people don't understand the Constitution. People don't give a shit about the Constitution. But the point being is, since they don't care and since they don't give a shit and since they want what they want and whether or not it's legal is totally irrelevant to what they want, they are disincentivizing.
Democracy.
They are disincentivizing their congressmen from actually upholding their oath of office to
Yes.
protect the Constitution.
Yep.
And they are incentivizing the worst cream of the crop, the biggest sociopaths who will just promise to give them what they want.
Yeah.
You know, the old man, they'll give it to them good and hard.
Yeah, yep.
Good
I love
and
that.
hard.
That's one of my favorite. Who was that guy? What's it?
H.L. Mencken.
Yeah, Mencken.
So Ryan nailed it. Fucking racist. So racist as they may be, it was an unconstitutional bill, and they were right to vote against it. And what did upholding their oath get them? It gets them a primary challenge because everybody hates them because they're fucking racist. That's what it gets them.
Yeah, and you know,
But yeah, go ahead and keep giving money to political candidates because you can vote yourself free,
Yeah.
you guys.
my take on it is like, who are we going to be lynching? Like in the current year, who's going to get lynched?
Well, now keep in mind
The
our studios-
authoritarians.
Could be us.
Now,
just for having this
politicians-
show.
our studios are in Columbia, Tennessee. Now, like 30 minutes down the road from us is Pulaski, Tennessee, which is the birthplace of the KKK.
Okay, so you're
so yeah.
like...
So I'm gonna take everybody who comes to episode 100. We're gonna go down to Pulaski. we're gonna tour the KKK.
Can we take
museum.
our kids?
There's that fuck.
Oh yeah,
You're
dude,
joking.
for sure.
The kids are gonna love it.
Wait, a KKK museum? That's a
There's
joke,
not.
right?
I'm just-
Okay.
No, but it is true that it was born in Pulaski, Tennessee, which is right down there.
But I really want to emphasize
my
that
gosh.
the reason that they're like super duper outlawing lynching is because the current like contestants for being lynched are the authoritarian people trying to take away our rights.
See, I think you're completely wrong.
No,
The chance that Donald Trump gets lynched is
not
somewhere around.
him, but I
Oh,
mean
not
maybe
him, yeah.
your local, you
Okay.
know, your comptroller.
No, get out of the bubble. The overwhelming majority of your neighborhood loves that guy, David.
The comptroller?
Do they? Yucky.
Yes, absolutely. You get out of the bubble. You go down to Walmart for 15 minutes. You'll find tons of people who absolutely love whatever authoritarian that you're worried is going to get lynched. And if they thought you were a danger, they'll lynch you first. And your neighbors will be the one to do it.
They
Oh,
will.
fuck.
I
feel
tell
it.
people that all these people who come into the comments and stuff, they're like, you know, your 3%er types that are like, we're gonna rise up. We need another revolution. We're gonna protect our guns. We're gonna show them. Like, so first of all, no, you're not. No one's gonna do that. And second of all, if it did come to blows, we're dead because we're not in the mainstream. We'll be dead first. Now, I don't know who's
fuck.
going to win between the rest of them, but we're dead first.
Yeah.
Because, guys, they do not hold liberty as a primary political virtue. I cannot stress this enough.
Seth just said the majority of the neighborhood put that guy there.
Oh, they did. They fucking
Damn
did.
it!
What's the meme of the girl in The Rock, and she says, we're going to vote the bums out, or he says, we're going to vote the bums out. She says, how did the bums get in?
Oh, and he's like, oh, it's so. Okay, so what is?
Damn, you fucking
Is
ruined my
it-
shit, man. I
is
thought I had
there-
a thing.
A way for things to change? Because okay, so
Political decentralization is the only even remote hope.
can you explain that like a little
Okay.
more, like for me, just
Yeah. Okay.
'cause
So
it's,
if
like,
you
big to my brain.
if you go out in front of your house right now and tell your neighbors, I'm a secessionist, they'll lynch you because you're a racist. That's what they'll do. But
Oh.
political secession is just a boogie word for political decentralization. So breaking down political structures, political societies, as they would have been academically called, into as many remote, small pieces as can be done. I mean, the state of Tennessee fries people when everyone says don't do it. So obviously they're authoritarian too. But the state of Tennessee can't possibly be more authoritarian to me than Washington, D.C. So obviously if I had the choice between the two, then I would rather throw my lot in with Tennessee than with Washington, D.C. Political decentralization is the only slither of hope you have. I mean, you think of in little victories, like, you know, I'm a 10th Amendment guy. I love TAC. I love the 10th Amendment Center, Bolden and Meharry, all those guys. And people say, well, okay, but give me like practical examples. Dude, people have been smoking weed forever, regardless of whether or not it was legal. Now, granted, some people got caught and got severely punished, but people still did it because people did not respect that law as legitimate, so they did it anyway. And now look at all the states that are legalizing it, and it's probably going to be legalized nationwide in the relatively near future. So the point being is, it's not that it's impossible that the needle can't move in the right direction. And it does take a organic movement of people. They're not becoming libertarians. A libertarian's not going to win an elected office. It's not going to happen. But people can nullify specific things. Like someone who thinks that weed should be legal probably doesn't read a lot of Murray Rothbard or anything. But if they help us get league legalized, I'm not going to be like, but you don't read Mises, so no. I'm not, that's retarded. That's Big L right there. So we're not going to do that. You can work with people and chip away at the block as much as you can. But whether nullification or whatever, that's decentralization of power. That's what that really is. It's, Ron Paul used to preach this all the time. Of course, Ron Paul, not only he was a principled guy, but he was also playing politics in the sense of he was trying to speak in language that mainstream conservatives and people would understand. And he would say, I want to leave it to the states. He used to say all the time, well, that's a question for the states. And a lot of people, authoritarians, tend to think that's a cop-out answer. It's not a cop-out answer. It's not a cop-out. I mean, it's literally the way it's racist. It's literally the way the nation was founded. I mean, the nation was founded that here's the powers that are enumerated to the federal government. Everything else is left to the states or the people, respectively. So the overwhelming majority of things are supposed to be just. You guys are in Pennsylvania, right? Mm-hmm. So Pennsylvania can do a lot of shit you don't like. Yep. And I'll tell you the biggest mistake people make. The biggest mistake people make if they're actually trying to play the political game is, let's say Pennsylvania does something you don't like. And so you think, well, let's take it to the federal court, and if we get them overruled, then Pennsylvania has to do what we say. That is not the right answer. Because the feds may rule in your favor today, but you've set the precedent that they decide. You would rather have Pennsylvania decide, even if they decide wrong, than have D.C. decide, because once they've taken the power to decide, God knows what D.C. is going to decide for you tomorrow, because you just gave them the power to make the decisions.
Yeah, fuck that.
That's what Dave always told me, like when
political decentralization.
Yeah.
When
down
we
to the
talking,
family.
Yeah, we were talking about stuff like this is years ago, but we'd sit on the couch and I was trying. I had just learned about Ron Paul and all of it. And he's like, yeah, all the drugs should be legal. And I'm like, fuck, you know, I'm like, let me ask you some more questions, you know, like, so, but yeah, I'm like, so what if I'm not happy? Like here, like this where we are living does not, it doesn't match what we believe, you know? And he's like, then we move, you know? And I'm like, well, that
would be a nice
sucks,
option.
but it's an option. It's better than
go to New York, go to Ohio, go
or
somewhere
going
else.
to Somalia.
Send out some postcards.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, I'd rather be able to go somewhere. Go ahead. It's fine.
So look at Tennessee right now. So Bill Lee just killed a guy, and we're all thinking, okay, less than ideal. You know,
less than ideal.
Totally.
Less than ideal. But you know what? He also just voiced his support for permitless carry, sometimes called constitutional carry, which is almost certainly going to pass now in Tennessee, which means you don't have a permit. You can either open or conceal carry with no permit. You don't have to have a permit for any firearm or to carry. So first of all, that's how it should be.
Yeah.
It should.
But second of all, again, I can't stress this enough. People like to talk about my Second Amendment rights. You don't have any Second Amendment rights. The U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights don't give you any rights. You have rights inherent to your nature as a human being. But in the federal system, in the American political system, the Second Amendment doesn't apply to the state of Tennessee. It applies to the U.S. federal government. So if the state of Tennessee says you have to have this permit or no, you can't have that gun, in the confines of the American political system, that is their right to do. The Second Amendment says that the federal government cannot infringe on your right to keep and bear arms, not the state of Tennessee's government. You could move from the state of Tennessee. Now, I believe in natural rights, which means I don't believe the state of Tennessee has the right to do that either. Yeah. And so the only reason I bring that up is that, so Bill Lee's a piece of shit, but maybe we'll get permitless carry passed, which is a move in the right direction. And on net, we managed to make that decision at the state level and not the federal level, which will inherently be better. I am way more likely to lose my rights to defend myself because Beto O'Rourke gets made president and he passes a federal gun ban, and Tennessee says, yes, master, we'll do what you say. Yeah. That's a way bigger threat to me than the state of Tennessee.
We need our funding. You're going to take away our funding if we don't follow suit.
Yep. Yeah. Chance Wilson right there. Permitless carry greater than federal reciprocity. Absolutely. When people federal reciprocity, just really quick, it's just to say that it's basically going back to what I said before of putting your eggs in the basket. So federal reciprocity basically is saying if one state has a law, whether or not you do or do not have to respect that law in another state. That is not the way it works. The state of Tennessee is sovereign above the U.S. federal government to make its own decisions for things that are not enumerated in Article 1, Section 8 to the federal government in the U.S. Constitution. And vice versa, if it's not in the U.S. Constitution, Article 1, Section 8, or if it is not in the Tennessee State Constitution, then that means I am sovereign above that, and I get to make all decisions on that. Period. Full stop.
Beautiful.
There you go.
I got to go to sleep.
Oh, you have to sleep. Okay. Well, and that's a great place to end, though. That's a beautiful, wonderful place to end. Alan, let's.
Yes.
You won. You won all the questions. I think you got all of them right. They were objective too.
Is that loud?
Is that loud? Yeah.
It's a lot of volumes to like control the different outlets. Yeah.
Yeah.
This ended perfectly. I'm hammered.
Well,
we had a great conversation.
No, this was so fun. I want to have more conversations with you because this is fun. So tell everyone about your new show.
This camera.
I mean,
but we only have one camera.
It's
what do you got going on?
But really, like, it's hot.
You know,
it's Fireman. Talk about it.
So it's Too Late with Alan Mosley, which we didn't restart the numbering. That's how we're still able to do episode 100 next weekend. Is because we didn't. So the gold standard became It's Too Late with Alan Mosley. So we do it in the theme of a late night show. I have not hid the fact that I've told people it is definitely more entertainment and mainstream focused.
Yeah.
I don't even say the words libertarian or anarchist on this show. And I explained to people, I'm not different. If this conversation has proven that, I'm not any different. I'm trying to give my perspective and share a little bit of principle and ethics on a variety of different issues. But I don't use trigger words that sometimes can make people turn you off
or platforms.
Without. Yeah.
Yep.
But I mean, it's a late night show. We start with a monologue, and then we have a couple of bits, and then we have a guest or a segment, and then so episode 100 is March 14th, so that's next Saturday, and we are filming in front of a live studio audience. So we have people from all over the country coming down for episode 100 here in our studios in Columbia, Tennessee. It's south of Nashville. We're going to have a monologue, and then our bits, and then I have a guest, and then we have a musical guest. I mean, it's exactly like Letterman or Leno or whatever. Yep. It's going to be filmed in the big room here in the studio. And,
now, is that the room, like, you show...
it's nice. It's a lot better than our corner of the basement.
Yeah, no, you show on your show, like, it's this beautiful place that people can rent out. That if they're in the area, if they want to have, like, a bridal shower or birthday party or a kid's party or my 40th birthday party, if I live there.
Yeah.
Is that the space that people are going to be able to be in and watch your show?
So that's the biggest room in the studio, and we have to do the show in there because if we got to have a stage big enough for the musical guests and the desk and chairs and then for audience members and all that.
Sure.
So that's the only room big enough to do it in. So that commercial, that room, that is where the episode will be. Of course, I mean, if you've ever seen my show, you see behind me, behind the desk, that's a window that's what Columbia, Tennessee looks like. So that's a window, and that's real.
No, it's not.
That's real. That's the window behind me in my office, just like
that.
And the show is live. I mean, I don't understand why this is.
You said before, like, this isn't Columbia.
I'm very shocked for some reason. I don't know. I thought.
I'm sorry. I watch your show, and so I know that you said earlier that it wasn't here.
You know what's funny? So like my two biggest influences for what's the gimmick? What is the show? It is a mix of the Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson and the Daily Show with Jon Stewart.
Oh,
it's a mix of in terms of like predominantly being around a host talking about issues, it's a little bit more like the Daily Show. But in terms of commercial breaks and segments with some viewer mail and some monologue and all that, more like a late night show, it's more like Craig Ferguson. So that was my influence behind doing it. And hopefully we're going to announce, hopefully we'll be able to kick off a nice little fundraiser with episode 100 and people will donate because I'm very poor. And I've spent all of my money on like, and I've said this and everybody will hear this at episode 100 that like, I used to have a radio show back in the day. I was actually the vice president of a nonprofit. And at the same time I had a radio show on a sports network. And I enjoyed it immensely. Radio was fun. But when I decided to do this show, it was kind of reviving my old radio show. And I was going to do it as a podcast because that's all the rage now. I was just, look, this was just going to be me and my boxers in a closet at home with my little Yeti mic and a can with a string was how I was going to do the show. And Blake Osborne, my producer, who is the owner of Osborne Studio and Sound here, he was recording a jazz album for me. I was doing a jazz album and he was mixing it. And I'd gotten to talk to him about all this crazy. I was like, yeah, man, fuck the government. Let me tell you about anarchy. and he listened to all that while we were doing jazz tunes. And then he was like, you should just do the show here and I'll get out all my old equipment and we'll do it. So Blake actually used to work for Fox 17, the Fox affiliate in Nashville. Oh. And so he was a TV producer and he's like, I'll produce your show. It'll be great. And I was like, okay. And now here we are.
Oh my gosh. That's
awesome.
So fantastic. Dude. That's the guy that comments just showed up. Mr. Mosley with the monocle.
Top hat monocle.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I love it though. I love it so much. And I love what I always liked the old show. We would watch. We would, but this has the feel, has a
I try. I mean,
yeah.
I hope
you did great.
I hope that was my biggest thing. I really hoped that when people saw the new digs that they would get it.
Yes.
Like they would get oh, I get what he's going for. Like I know that he's just a stupid redneck from Tennessee and he doesn't have any money, but I can see he did his best to look like he knows what
he did. Good.
This
you got great graphics.
Everything that you did,
I admire your shit.
I tried to tell Dave we need to have that Jimmy Fallon where he's running in New York City. And Dave's like, I don't think so. And I'm like, all right, whatever.
Some of the early arrivals for episode 100, I'm not going to say who all is going to be there and who isn't, but some of the people who are arriving are going to get the backstage tour of the studio and all of our equipment and boards. And I'll show them our OBS setup and how we do everything.
Be paying close attention.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
like
exciting.
I said, I've done that for some folks. I've offered to help some people that I haven't yet, but we're in the works. And there's other people I've helped them set up their setups and stuff like that. And this is actually a working studio. So we do record stuff and make money in our, we do actually rent that room and DJ and we do actually record music and stuff. We actually just started doing audiobooks. I actually just finished our first audiobook produced here. A week ago.
Oh, what kind of book? Tell me.
Stop! I gotta go to sleep.
Sorry, tell me the book real quick.
You'll find out at episode 100. I promise.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I gotta
it is the show.
Okay, so Alan, Dave has to work tomorrow. So tell us everywhere that you are and everywhere that people can find you because we love you. This is fun.
I don't know. Once I get deplatformed for all the fag and Jew stuff from tonight, you won't find me anywhere.
Us too.
But yeah,
thanks for going in here.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thanks, Alan.
I blocked Zuckerberg. We're good.
So the new network is FunnyBroke. Little L Productions went away, and it's by the way, it's the same people doing mostly the same shows. The reason it went away is because we killed all the libertarian anarchist references. Yeah. So FunnyBroke is the new network.
Thanks, Juan.
It kind of goes to that whole new gearing towards.
Okay, I get it. Yeah. Yep.
The website is under production. That's actually something that's going to be unveiled to our VIPs this weekend as well. The website that we're working on, which will be funnybroke.com. But it's more of a media website. People will be able to listen to the podcast, watch the videos, see some of our other funny skits and stuff we do that don't really fit into a show necessarily. So funnybroke.com, facebook.com/funnybroke, Twitter's @Alan M. Mosley, YouTube is YouTube/funnybroke. And in FunnyBroke being a network site is where you'll find It's Too Late with Alan Mosley, Sports Ball with Mike and Alan. So for the sports fans out there, Sports Ball. And it's not a libertarian show where we talk about it. No, it's a sports show. It's better than anything crappy ESPN has. Of course, Postcards from Somalia is on FunnyBroke.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah. And Godarchy, which is Mike's show, will be on FunnyBroke. And a couple of other folks who have never been with us before, but who are looking to join in with the fun are looking to come on to FunnyBroke, as well as, I don't know if I can necessarily announce it yet, but there is a podcast network that is very, very, very large, way, way, way bigger than FunnyBroke, that a lot of libertarians will know, that is soon to be syndicating It's Too Late with Alan Mosley. But I don't think I can announce that yet.
Oh.
That's fun. Yeah.
Oh, we're waiting. We're waiting. We are.
Well, you guys will find out. Everyone else will have to wait.
Okay.
I'll tell you.
Alan, thank you for coming on. This was so much fun. You are a blast. I'm grateful that our paths have crossed so that we can have these conversations. Shit, I had too many drinks, Alan. Damn
Same.
it.
All right,
Damn it, Alan. I love you. Wait
till March 14th. This is nothing. Wait till March 14th.
Let's do the thing when Alan came in to the. Remember, you showed up in one of our streams and we're just like, Alan! It's fucking Alan Mosley! No, seriously.
I just got home from work. It was the last 30 seconds of your show,
Yeah.
and you weren't even on camera anymore, and people just started screaming my name.
Yeah.
And so I did what anybody would do. I turned that shit off.
Oh, yeah.
That's why we are where we are.
That's it. That's right.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for
Thank you,
coming in,
Alan.
man.
Thank you so much. Good night.
Good night.
And thank you to everyone who came in to hang out. I'm my tongue feels really thick right now. Having that like moment, where let's do the thing.
Remember, you shut up.
But to do the,
You shut your mouth. Do the thing.
Do the thing. Scott, you've got to message me and tell me where it happened.
No, we saw it happen. It was
No, but I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
I don't know either, but Scott, tell me. Please. I want to know. Like,
I know why. I'll tell you.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, but thanks for hanging out, Scott. But tell me why. Like, I don't know. Do you know?
I don't know why.
I don't know.
But yeah, I know.
Yeah, I saw it happen, but like not like why.
Just a long comment. All right, but I do have to go to sleep.
Seth, Ryan, Drew,
Yeah,
Sean,
all you guys. Thanks for hanging out.
Everybody.
Thanks for commenting. Thanks for liking
Timothy,
the stream.
Juan, Trey, everybody, Chance.
Yeah, that was weird.
Thanks for I was so happy to come down here today. Like so happy to come down here and hang out. Yeah. I am also drinking, Seth.
Yeah, I gotta go to sleep because I gotta get up in 5 hours.
I love you guys. I'm gonna be a good girl.
Yeah, she is. Oh, I got so many buttons.
Mwah. Thank you.
Good night, guys. Thanks for hanging
out. Yeah.
I don't like your T-Series. Nothing personal, kid. But I must go all out. Just this once. Bob's or Vagana, whichever will it be. Set the fuck down, T-Series, I'm here to spill the real tea. You tryna dethrone me from spot on #1, but you India, you lose. So best think you haven't won. When I'm through with you, we're gonna be completely fucking done. Cause we only just begun. I review you. 0 bitch gone. So come on, T-Series, looking hungry for some drama. Here, let me serve you bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. T-Series ain't nothing but a bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. Look at T-Series, they just crying for their mama. Bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. T-Series ain't nothing but a bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. T-Series just whip himself in their pajamas. So who the hell is Bob and why you wanna kiss him? Ew. I'm a blue-eyed white dragon while you're just dark magician. Oof. You got a fifth of the population in your nation, but I got 90 rolls of worlds to hold your defecation. Oops. Multipatlo, what the fuck is that even supposed to mean? Your language sounds like it come from a mumble rap community. No papa, yes papa, Johnny. Now download the sugar and let's throw this fucking party with some bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. Look at T-Series, they just crying for their mama. Bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. T-Series ain't nothing but a bitch lasagna. lasagna. You got a population of 1.32 billion, but most your videos can't seem to hit even a million. Subbot!
Magic potty baby, your bottle's all done. It's potty training time, will be so much fun. I help you with your training dance, you make me so proud. Your potty feels like magic, then it flushes out loud.
It's fun to help Magic Potty Baby learn to use her potty. Flush and you're ready for next time.
Magic potty baby, I'm so glad that you're mine.
Magic Potty Baby and her Magic Potty. No water, no mess. Batteries not included.